Well, so very good morning to all of you. So first of all, on behalf of all my FITGE faculty members, FITGE director, I extend a warm welcome to all of you. In spite of Sunday, a weekend, where of course the gloomy weather is also forcing us to sleep more. You have made it all the way to come here, so thank of you. I hope 2 to 2.5 hours of our interactive session will definitely be very fruitful and you will enjoy. And especially the students, you will have a lot to take it back. You will be taking back so many good points today, which will be very useful to you in your life. And if you start implementing that, I am very sure you will be reaching a next level of success very easily. Well, so since we have so many questions to answer and so many points to discuss, let me start the presentation. Let me start the session. So, first of all, before I invite the toppers, I just want to show certain things which quite often we are getting, either in the class or through emails or Google Forms whenever we whenever we ask the students to fill. Many of you or your friends are asking few questions. First of all, the basic question that many people ask, especially in Standard 9 and Standard 10, sir, how to prepare for IIT JEE? So today's session we are completely focusing on IIT JEE. So most of the people are asking how to prepare. We are overstressed, confused, so many books, so many suggestions, so many advices. Every time we get confused. First of all, how should we prepare for IIT JEE? Another important problem is time. By the time I complete phase 1, already phase 2 exam would have come, sir. I don't have time to even complete phase 1 packages itself. Already our teachers are announcing phase 2 exam date. So this is another major challenge. So if you see that, you tell me, is it really tough to prepare for IIT JEE? If it is really tough, how so many students are clearing IIT JEE, that too with very good ranks, top ranks? Let's have a quick look at that. See, many of us have dream to reach here. And of course, you feel that exam is very difficult or preparation is very difficult, stressful and all. Is it really? Or are we complicating that? I'll not take more time. I know that today it is the time for our toppers. Just few minutes, let's do a small research kind of thing. JEE Advanced 2023, recently held, where you have seen the celebrations till now in the videos, and of course you are going to see them live directly and talk to them and all. If you see the paper, the way we presented to you in the last year, 2022, again, the paper was analyzed thoroughly by all our team of faculty members. Look, we have identified the questions which you can solve with NCERT textbook knowledge, for which you need not have any higher order thinking skills. NCERT textbook, anyway you are studying for your school exams and board exams. If you study honestly with proper focus, these are the questions which we have identified that you can easily crack. Of course, while solving, definitely you need to be more focused into the concepts. Next, FITGE study packages. If you are doing FITGE study packages, these are the next row, moderate questions which you all can answer without any problem. And last, difficult segment. For difficult segment, to get used to the questions of difficult level and all, yes, you need to push yourself little beyond that level. A comfort zone say you have to come out. You have to pay attention to GMP questions, RDX questions, AATS questions, and then do a lot of analysis on each question, discussions with the faculty and friends. Then you get the grip on difficult questions. So now you tell me, you have seen for paper 1 classification and paper 2 classification. I am not joking. Some of you might be thinking that sir is simply putting some numbers and showing. Anyway, how I can cross verify? I don't remember also. Suppose if you see physics, difficult question is not there in paper 1 at all. You can ask. Your seniors are going to come onto the stage within few minutes. You can ask, how was the paper 1 physics this time? And similarly, some of you might be thinking that, like, even suppose for example, if you take paper 2 physics, if you see, I have written question number 2, 3, 4, something like easy questions. So they're really easy. Can I do them by just solving NCERT textbook? I don't believe. If I can solve any question from IIT by just seeing NCERT, how can I say, how to believe that? First of all, you have a doubt, no? Let me help you. See, if you go to IIT JEE website, JEE Advanced Past Papers or whatever that, if you type in the Google, you'll get this screen. You can just open that. You have all the years at the bottom. You can click. Of course, 2023 paper is not uploaded here. It is in another link. You can see that that's not a problem. You'll get the question paper like this. This is 2023 Physics paper 2 I'm showing. Physics paper 2, question number 1, I did not mark in the easy. Hope you must have seen. Question number 1, I did not mark in the easy. For some of you, it might be easy also, but I didn't mark. Now, what was the first question that I marked as easy in physics paper, physics paper 2? Question number 2. Let's see question number 2. Question number 2, you just see here. Are you able to see from there? It's a dimensional analysis question, units and dimension. At least who are in 11th and 12th standard will be able to connect easily or immediately. Tell me how much IQ or otherwise how much deep thinking and deep analysis is required to solve this question. Don't we solve these type of questions from NCERT textbook? Any 11th standard student here, please? Can you just raise your hand and tell? 11th standard students, please. I'm not asking you to answer the question, don't worry. Just you say whether it is NCERT level or not. Yeah, yes, please. Pardon? First chapter of 12th standard, okay. 11th standard, yes. Are they easy questions or, this is easy question or difficult question? Any idea? Question is there. Depends upon the question. Question is there. So this is a straight question. You can just see. Even this is a third question also. So this, you can just see. Velocity is given in the vector form and they're asking you to find force. Mass is also given. So those who know a very basic formula F equal to ma, just you need to do a one step of differentiation to get the answer. So the questions which have come in the paper, there are many questions like this which you can solve if you are thorough with NCERT syllabus, for which you need not get tensed at all. It is not at all a very difficult paper or program. Sir, only 1 year paper if you take like this, and how can you say, who knows, 2024 paper may be tough or 2025 paper may be tough? It's not like that. If you see, obviously 2024 paper though we can see next year, so 2022 paper also you see, there are questions which were very easy, moderate and difficult. So we can do the analysis of many papers like this. And from last year also, this was the question which I am showing it as an easy question with the first physics. Even 10th standard students also can solve this question. So what I'm trying to say is, paper every year, if you see, there will be certain number of questions which will be easy, moderate, and difficult. 3 segments will be there. 2022 paper, if you see, 21.66% questions were easy, 53% was moderate, and 24 difficult. The definition of difficult, moderate, easy, I have already explained. Easy means NCERT, moderate means FITGI study package, difficult means some tough, challenging questions of FITGI exams. Similarly, 2023, if you see, as I already said, and you all must have read in the newspapers also, paper was easy. So, easy questions percentage was 43. Moderate is also 43 according to us, and difficult was only 14. So, this is how every year almost some good amount of questions, good number of questions will be there in easy and as well as moderate. So, what happens then? Look at ranks versus marks. 2023 marks for all the ranks we did not get till now. So whatever the ranks we have and we available, we have put some ranks and then try to give you an idea. Look at rank 1. All India rank 1 has secured almost close to 95%. 94.72. 21, 86.67, then 52, 83.3%, and so on. Like you can see, 132 ranker we are having, 132 is 77.78. That means 100 will be somewhere like around 80% or 79%, rank 100. So to get All India rank 100 in this year's paper, one has to score somewhere close to 80%, or one should have scored, because paper was easy, or number of questions in easy segment were more. Number of questions in easy segment, you can see 43% were there. So that's the reason why that has gone up. And if you see the ranks, you can understand. Next, you see last year how it was. Last year you see. So All India rank 1, 87 87%. This year it is at 95%. Look at the difference. How much difference is there? 95 and 87. 8%. 8% difference up on the 87 level. After 87%, getting even 1 mark or half mark will also be very tough. And you see, imagine from there it has gone up by 5%. Getting rank 100. Rank 100, what was the mark we discussed in the previous slide? Approximately 80%. Now you see here, it was 65%. So, ranks will automatically adjust according to the paper difficulty level. You need not worry. This is what I wanted to say from these slides. When paper is difficult, automatically it becomes a low scoring paper and ranks get suggested. When paper is easy, marks may go up, and again, everybody will perform well, so the ranks will also move same way. So you need not worry much on how the paper is going to be when you take it in next 2024, 2025, 26. IIT will do like that only. It will be a surprise. Nobody can predict how the paper is going to be in 2024 or 2025. That is impossible. Only thing what we can do is prepare seriously and concentrate on the fundamentals. If you see 10,000 rank, 25% only the last year. Similarly, previous year if you see, this year if you see 10,000 rank is coming at 34%. 34% in an easy paper or 25% in a tough paper is more than sufficient for you to get into IITs. If you are at that level, that means you are really finding it very difficult. Because 10,000 rank also, you will definitely get a reasonable branch. You see, the South India IITs, 2022 cutoffs. 2023 counseling is going on. 2022 you see. 10,000, you are getting the good branch, electrical engineering in new IITs called IIT Dharwad. And IIT Tirupati, IIT Palakkad, also you are getting some branches, 10,000 and above. So you tell me now, when we were talking yesterday, day before yesterday to some students in the classes and all, they were saying, sir, it is very difficult to imagine those double digit rank, single digit rank and all, sir. Too difficult. And that is why we have completely lost our interest. See, first we'll start step by step. When we come to the level of 10,000, automatically we can easily move to the next 5,000, then 2,000, 1,000 below and all. So whoever is at the bottom side, you can easily make it if you start working seriously. Just we need to score 25 to 30%. Enough. We can easily score. So don't worry. Paper will be always with the 3 segments of easy, moderate and difficult. So you can easily score the marks like this. So these are the rough calculations. Once again, I want to inform you that if you score somewhere around 125 marks, your rank will be close to 10,000 even if the paper is easy. So 125 out of 360, I think everybody can score. Everybody can score with your NCERT syllabus preparation itself. Right, fine. So many times I have already explained you. So this is the story for every year, 22, 21, 20, all the years it was like that only. So you can just see that's not that I'm saying only based on one particular year or something like that. We do a lot of analysis before we come to you or before we say these words. We are not saying these words to just motivate you or encourage you. The proofs are available on websites, IIT website, everywhere it is available. You can see whenever you want to have a target. Suppose if your target is rank 1000, look, rank 1000, 47%, 58%, 53%. So more or less it is moving around there only, plus or minus 5%. If you are aiming for 1000 rank or below that. If you are aiming for 10,000 rank, you can just see. That will also be somewhere 25%, 31%, 29%, and so on. Not a big difference. So let's listen from our seniors also. But the JEE main was also like that only. JEE main, whoever is focusing on JEE main, yes, for them also. Once again, in some other seminar, I'll explain you in detail about the marks and all. So JEE main scoring pattern also, it will be similar. And you can see 2022, how the mains marks versus ranks were there. So if you are getting around 130 marks out of 300, the rank is somewhere close to 30,000. So that's a last limit that we can fix. From there, you can go up to whatever the maximum you can push. So 130 marks out of 300, I think it's very, very simple. You just have to solve NCERT textbook thoroughly. So 30,000, what will I get? You will get. NIT Trichy also you will get. If your rank is 30,000, you are getting 2 branches from NIT Trichy itself. Anyway, once you start, you reach 30,000 means we can easily pull you to 20,000, 10,000 and all in 2-3 months. So finally concluding, you just keep a target of scoring at least 50% or above in all your exams which you are writing. You will definitely make it to JEE Advanced. First, if you are aiming for this, slowly we can push you up. 50% marks in phase exam, chap test, or any other exam that you are writing in the school, if you aim for this, and if you are thorough with the answers that you have written, it is not like mugged up or simply you are writing something but you don't know what you are writing. You can easily crack. And if it is 10,000 rank or something, means 30% is also sufficient. JEE mains also same. 50%, that means out of 300, 50% is 150. 150 is more than enough to get into NIT Trichy. So that's the summary which I wanted to say first for, based on your responses to Google form, many of you were a bit pressurized. So now it's a time for us to listen directly from our toppers. So before that, first I would like to invite Mr. Ankur Jain, the Fiji Chennai Sector Tamil Nadu Region Director, Tamil Nadu and Kerala. So, sir, please come onto the stage. I request sir to speak few words before we invite the students onto the stage.
Thank you, Pavanji. Good morning, all students and parents. Well, when I'm standing here in front of you in this beautiful yellow t-shirts, we have this year's top rankers. In all colored dress, we have upcoming year top rankers. I remember some 30 years back, 1994 also. Yes, I was fortunate enough not to wear the yellow t-shirt, but yes, wear the hat of getting selected into IIT. So it was 1994 when I got the chance to write IIT and get selected and study from IIT Delhi. But I want to share one experience with you. When I was writing my exam, you all know that it happens in the peak summer, in the month of May. And I belong to North, where the summer is just peak. And the examination centers used to be regular school where not even fans are working. So I remember my maths exam, I tried question number 1, I couldn't do it. I tried question number 2, I couldn't do it. And like that, I tried 13 questions. Well, our IIT JEE pattern used to be different. It was not a combined paper of physics, chemistry, math, a separate paper for physics, separate paper of chemistry, and separate paper of maths. And not so many questions as they are coming today objective. They used to be subjective, descriptive questions. In fact, people say that IIT used to be much more tougher at those times, where the questions used to be really lengthy. And you would have seen in your archive and other books, etc., if you see questions of 90s, they are the real challenging ones even today. So well, I just wanted to share the experience that I couldn't solve even one question in mathematics. My hands were shivering and I was sweating. For a moment, it looked like gone. Now IIT is out of the hand. Well, my parents and my gurus taught me that whatever the bad situation is, don't lose heart. I closed my eyes, prayed God, drink some water. Probably the God helped. I started re-attempting the questions and I was able to solve 5 questions. So with those 5 questions, yes, I got a decent rank in IIT and I got a chance to study. And once again, through the nice analysis Pavan sir has shown, that if you crack only just easy questions, you are into IIT. If you can crack easy questions and 50% of moderate questions, you would be somewhere close to 2000 rank, am I right? Based on the analysis, I hope you remember. And if you can solve all easy questions and all moderate questions and no difficult questions, then where are you? Somewhere close to 100 or maybe 200. So all the students sitting, except the front 2 benches, because they have already done that work, but all of you, if you can solve just easy questions, you are into IIT with some rank. Some moderate questions will get you decent rank, and all moderate questions will get you top ranks. And a few difficult questions if you crack, then you would be in yellow t-shirt the year when you write your IIT JEE exam. Okay? But does it sound? It's easy. Anybody can do that. If it is that easy and they're only easy question, then why so much competition? Why so much preparation? Why FITGI, this, that, every year? It is because of a demand-supply gap, not because the question paper is difficult. There are 15 lakh students aspiring to get into IIT. And if you want to be top 10,000, that means 14 lakh 90,000 students have to score below you. And if you want to be in top 100, how many have to score below you? 14 lakh 99,900 students have to score less than what you score. So what makes the paper difficult is that moment. All the questions are new, which you have not seen before. So the simple mantra of IIT JEE preparation, what is the mantra? Do you have to study too hard? Answer is no. Do you have to be very intelligent? Yeah, if you are very intelligent, then you need to crack those difficult questions what Pavan sir has shown you. Yeah, if you want to be in top 100 types, you need to be very intelligent. But if you are good, you can make your place in top 500 easily. So you don't need to work very hard. You don't have to be very intelligent. Then what is it you need to do? You don't have to work hard, you don't have to be very intelligent, but you have to defeat 14,99,900 students. What is the differentiation? The differentiation is in consistency, keeping yourself motivated, keep working till the end. I have been in this profession, I'm in FITGE last 23 years. Yes, from 2000 I'm in FITGE. I'm teaching students for IIT JEE. I've seen hundreds and thousands of students getting selected into IIT, and yes, I have seen even more not getting selected into IIT. So what makes a difference is ability to bear this pressure during the preparation. When you are doing your preparation for 2 years in 11th and 12th, or 4 years in 9th and 10th, there would be moments when you will not be able to crack questions, and you will think like, because I can't crack these questions, so I can't get into IIT, and let me drop it out. That's where majority of students fail. If you just promise yourself, it's okay. If I am in 11th class, my IIT JEE is not tomorrow. I have still 2 more years. Let me attempt this question, and if I am unable to solve it, tomorrow the teacher is going to be there in the class, na? And when teacher will explain me how to do this question, then what would happen? You would learn. And when you would learn, you would be able to crack your question. This is where majority of students fail. When they are unable to do questions, they stop practicing. And when they stop practicing, when the teacher tells them in the class, it becomes a demonstration. Demonstration will not make you learn. What will make you learn is practice, and when you are unable to do it, you know what is the problem. And then when the teacher will tell you, then it will come as a solution. So well, today I didn't spoke something very new. I have been speaking this for last 20 years almost. For last 20 years, I'm telling the same thing in all the success mantras, seminars, etc. So today I don't want to repeat what I have been repeating. Today, let you hear from these students, those who are here. So these are the students, those who are here in this seminar today. And thank you very much for being it. I request Pavan sir to take this program forward. Wish you all the best.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for your inspiring words. So now it's a time for us to invite the toppers. So first, I'd like to invite Prakar Jain onto the stage, All India rank 21. So Prakar Jain, please come onto the stage. Prakar Jain is 4-year classroom program student of FITGE and got upgraded to 2-year integrated program. Then, Prakar, please, yeah, one more, yes. So now, Ramachandran Sampath, All India rank 52, will be coming onto the stage. Ramachandran is Udaya 2-year, that means 7 and 8, standard 7, standard 8. Then Supreme 4-year student, so studied with FITGE for 6 years. Next, moving on to Kian, KR Kian, All India rank 66. He is the student from Little Jenny, 6th standard onwards he is with FITGE. Little Jenny, then 7 and 8 Udaya program, then Supreme 4-year integrated program. So Kian, All India rank 66. Rishabh Narayan, All India rank 82. Please welcome Rishabh Narayan. Udaya 1 year and then Supreme 4 years. They deserve big round of applause. Yes, please. Next, Srivatsa Ramanujan, All India rank 132. Let's welcome Srivats, Supreme 4-year integrated program student. Next, Arya Krishnamurthy, All India rank 143. Arya is the Fiji student from 6th standard, Little Journey, then Udaya 2-year, then 4-year classroom program, in between upgraded to Pinnacle. Nikhil Potuganti, All India rank 156, is a student of Fiji Udaya 1-year and Supreme 4-year program. Next, we'll move to Harit Sundareshan, All India rank 176, is a Pinnacle 2-year program student of Fiji. Spandan Party, All India rank 180. Supreme 4-year integrated program student. Spandan studied with Fiji for last 4 years. Sanjeev Subramaniam. Sanjeev, All India rank 694. The boy is from 3-year classroom program. A big round of applause for Sanjeev. Last but not the least, Asta Chand, All India rank 831. Thank you, sir. So, well, we have few toppers sitting here. I'm sorry because, of course, others who have cleared JEE 2023 with other ranks are also toppers only. We always have huge respect to them, but because of space constraints and time constraints, we are not able to invite you here. But yeah, definitely we'll be felicitating each one of you next Sunday, and invitation cards will be sent to you soon. And we will meet again next Sunday in same street. Yes, in a function called Utkarsh. Utkarsh for 2023. We'll be felicitating each one of you. So now, as I already mentioned, we have collected lots of questions from some students, and we have grouped them into few groups. Like similar questions we have categorized into one. So now, I'll ask those questions with these students. First, we'll complete those questions, then we'll take the questions from you, because most of you will be asking more or less the same or similar questions. So therefore, it'll be easy for you also, and questions won't get repeated. So the first question, can we start? Yes. Right. So whenever I ask the question, I just request you to introduce yourself once again, and then you can start speaking about the question and then whatever else you want. Okay? Right. Yes. So the first question is to Prakar Jain. Prakar, please give the mic. Hello, Prakar. How are you? Yeah, Prakar. So many students in our Google form questions and all, they have mentioned that preparation for IIT JEE is very stressful, sir. Too tough to prepare. We think that we have done very well in this phase. We have covered all the packages, archives, everything we have done. And when we go to the phase exam, something else will happen. And unfortunately, the marks will come down. And many times it will go much worse than what they were earlier. So we completely lose our interest and focus. So how to focus? And how did you maintain your focus and concentration levels throughout your preparation? That was the one maximum number of students wanted me to ask that question. So on behalf of all your juniors, I'm asking, can you just answer this? How did you manage your stress levels throughout this journey?
So for me, throughout my preparation, whenever we study something, we can't keep studying the whole day. So we have to unload our brain from whatever we are studying. So for me, I had done specific slots. I had made specific slots in my day where I had designated time to do some fun activity. For example, it could be listening to music. Sometimes around half an hour you listen to music, which makes you feel good. And you don't get that stress of studying too much. So for me, the few activities were, first was listening to music. Around half an hour somewhat I could keep time and listen to music. Then sometimes I used to watch some TV shows, but that was very restrictive because TV shows are addictive. Like if you start a TV show, you want to watch the whole season of it, all episodes. Then you want to watch another TV series. So in terms of TV series, I was restrictive. I used to keep specific time slots. Like I have 1 hour, and within a week, suppose 3 days I'll watch. So I won't go even a minute ahead of it, because if I go more, then that more can go to 2 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours. So whatever fun time we keep, I used to keep it very restrictive. Not restrictive in terms of that even during the fun time I'm thinking of studying, I'm thinking what question I had to solve, but restrictive in terms of time limits. So for me, these were the ways I could de-stress myself. Because stress is not something you should get during your preparation. You should do your preparation with fun. Even when you're studying, you should have fun with the subject. That was my way of preparation. Another way, initially, which I used to do at the starting of my 11th was, I used to think that playing mobile games is also a way to de-stress myself. That I was wrong in it, because when I start a mobile game, it goes till 2 hours. I don't know, I think it's 15 minutes, but it's actually 2 hours. So that is one thing I would say, never play mobile games. If you are so disciplined that you can restrict it within 15-20 minutes, then it's fine. But I was not that I could not restrict it within 15-20 minutes. So mobile games was something I started in 11th, but then I stopped it initially within the first month, because I realized that it was hampering my preparation too much. And what I would say is, while you're studying, always, whatever subject you're studying, try to connect with the teacher so that you can have fun while you're studying. That is the most important thing. If you study 2 years, but you think that every time you are under stress, then that could be the reason that you're not able to perform in the exam also. Suppose you have given a phase test. Always you have a thing on your mind that you're too tired of your preparation. Every week you feel, why am I doing this? Every day I am doing so much hard work, even though you're not interested in it. That should not be the case. If you try to talk to your teachers, if you connect with your teachers, then you would find how to make the subject interesting to you. And if something is interesting, then you'll excel in it for sure. So these were my ways to become interested in the subject and to focus on my preparation, basically.
Very good. So once you develop the interest, automatically you get you get accelerated and you move always forward. That's what you are trying to say. Well, but basically, like the maximum number of students, whatever they are asking or trying to ask is, usually how many hours you use to study
For me,
per day?
no,
Yeah.
for me, I had never counted the exact number of hours I should study because my approach was to set a weekly goal for me.
Okay.
Once I set a weekly goal, I have to achieve that goal. Suppose if it takes 10 hours, let it take 10 hours. But I have to achieve the goal I set for me.
Okay.
And what happens, one or two times I tried it, that to set a timer for me, to make a timetable, and so that to measure the amount of time I'm studying.
Okay.
But that went in the wrong way. That one day I thought I calculated it was 12 hours of study. But when I reviewed what amount I had studied, it was not even around 3 to 4 hours of study because my focus was on time instead of what I am studying.
Okay.
So my approach was always to focus on what you are studying. So for me, I used to make weekly goals.
Okay.
I had weekly goals which were set for me, which I could review with my teachers also because they might have experience from previous students and they know maybe I'm setting too much of a goal which is not humanly possible. Maybe I'm setting too less. So once I set a goal and then I have to achieve that goal. Suppose if it takes too much time, if it takes more time, I'll study more. But if my focus is on a goal, then I'll achieve it. So for me, hours, I would suggest never count the hours. Always, instead of quantity, go for the quality of study. That was my approach for studying.
Okay. So, very good. So, instead of being time bound, be concept bound. So, if you understand the concept and if you enjoy the concept, nothing else. You can study even in half an hour also, that's not a problem. That's what Prakhar is saying. Good. So, the other part of this question was, sometimes when I score less in internal exams, whatever that phase test or chap test and all, so I lose my interest. Completely I lose my focus and automatically I go into that stress mode and all. So, how did you manage this? First of all, did you ever get less marks in internal test, phase test or any chap test or something like that?
Yes, some tests I used to get less marks.
Okay, less means how many? Which exam?
It was, I don't remember the exact name, some were chapter tests, some were phase tests, like some tests.
Less means approximately how many marks?
Marks, I don't remember the percentage. In terms of rank, it was not the first rank, it was a lower ranks. So
Lower means?
lower means sometimes 5, 6 or even lesser sometimes.
So, listen, 5, 6, he's saying that lower rank. How many of you agree 5, 6 is a lower rank? So he says that rank 5 and rank 6 he used to get and it is on lower side.
It's
Okay.
not lower in terms of that.
Okay.
In terms of, actually, what I analyzed after getting a lower rank was it is good for me because
Very good.
if I have a 5th rank in some test, which means there is something I did wrong.
Okay.
So I get the chance to analyze what mistake I made. So whenever I used to get actually, if the first time it happened that I feel a little bad that why am I getting low ranks. But after that I realized that getting low rank was good for me.
Yes.
Because if I'm getting first rank, if I'm getting 100% marks, then I don't know where should I improve. So for example, some test I got 5th rank. So I know I analyzed the test with my teachers and I know what mistakes I made.
Very good.
So because there is always scope for improvement. You have to find where to improve.
Excellent.
So getting low marks was actually a good thing for me because I got to analyze where I can improve. What sometimes I'm making silly mistakes. So I know that I have to organize my rough work so that I don't make such silly mistakes. I don't write 5 as Y or something like that. So getting low is not a bad thing because it gives you the place to analyze what can you do better. So that was my approach, even if I get low marks, to improve in the next test.
Okay. Good. So basically, see, the takeaway is whenever he scored less, he did not get disappointed. He did not get irritated. Rather than he analyzed where he went bad or what was the mistake. And from there he started learning. That's a very, very important learning to all of us. So please, Prakhar, relax for some time because we'll be talking to others also and we'll come back to you. Thank you.
Thank you,
Thanks
sir.
for sharing nice information. Now, let me ask Ramchandran. The next question that many of your juniors want to know is, again, how to balance between CBSE studies, JEE preparation, everything coming at a time. Sometimes school exams and FITGI exams will also almost come back to back, not much of a gap. So in all this, can I really balance all these things and study? Or how did you study first of all? I hope, I'm sorry, before I allow you to answer this question. First of all, how many marks you scored in CBSE 12th standard?
I scored 483.
483, very good. So 483 out of 500 and then all India rank 52. So how did you manage this?
So, hi everyone, I'm Ramachandran. So, CBSE, like when it comes to physics, chemistry, and maths, NCERT books are the basement for JEE as well. So, if you want to crack in JEE, you will have to study NCERT. So, apparently, you will know the concepts of NCERT. Now, the main point is how to answer a question in a CBSE exam, and for that, you have to listen to your CBSE teachers, or you can ask your CBSE teachers how to answer a particular question, and our teachers would tell how to answer in class itself. So I used to be attentive in class, so I didn't want to ask them privately or separately again. So for physics, chemistry, maths, I didn't do much of a practice. Just concepts I know already. I just have to revise how to answer them properly. When it comes to computer science and English, you have to study like there is no other option. And since I was in integrated, a lot of my CBSE periods usually will be computer science and English. Like they will concentrate more on computer science and English because FITGI doesn't teach them. So for computer science and English, I would say what your school teacher going to teach is very important, and I think that is more than enough for you to score good marks in English and computer science as well. So once you come home, I would suggest you to start with your FITGI work, and after some time, you will definitely get bored of doing a FITGI work. And when you get bored of doing a FITGI work, you can like try to do your school work, or if you want to write some record at home, if you want to write some classwork at home, you can do them when you are tired of doing FITGI work. Like I'll usually listen to music while writing record work because I didn't feel that was much important. If you don't listen to music, but you can finish your school work when you're tired of doing when you can do your CBSE work when you're tired of doing a FITGI work. And when two exams are clashing or like they're coming on the same day, choose your preference. Like if it is school's quarterly exam and FITGI some chapters, I would say concentrate on school's quarterly exam because that is more important. Or if it's going to be some school's unit test which doesn't need much of a practice, I would say spend some time on school's unit test and other time on FITGI's exam. So yeah.
Good. So you try to balance for major examinations of school, you are giving importance to the school exams, and then that is how you managed. What about labs, practical records and all? You used to write yourself, otherwise took somebody's help?
I used to write my practical records, but teachers didn't restrict us to give it to our parents or sisters or brothers to write it. If you want, you can do that as well, but I wrote my records.
Very good. See, he has written records also for himself. Yeah, right, it's great. Nowadays, everything is outsourcing only, no? Record work is also outsourced. Right.
My mom drew diagrams for me, so I will give credit to my mom for drawing diagrams.
So then some credit goes to your mother. Good. Nice. Nice, Ramchandran. We'll come back to you again. Now,
Thank you.
Next we'll move to Kian. Kian, the question to you is, many students are finding it very difficult in the exam hall with the speed and accuracy. If they go towards accuracy, speed falls down. And they'll be able to finish only 50% or 40% of the paper. No, speed we have to maintain means committing a lot of errors, ending up with a lot of negative marks. So how to address this problem? And how did you do that in your exams?
Actually, I used to have the same problem. We cannot simultaneously develop both speed and accuracy at the same time. You have to develop one first, then the other. It's better to develop accuracy first, because that way you know whatever question you attempted, it's right. Then when you start slowly developing your speed, you know, like even if you attempt 20 questions, all 20 are going to be right. You're not going to worry whether it's going to wrong, and you won't start panicking actually. So to develop accuracy, you should practice some questions, not just like any questions. Take some good 20 questions, keep a timer for 1 hour, and solve within that time, and maximize the number of questions which are right. Slowly you can develop your accuracy, then start developing the speed. So this way you can get more marks on a regular basis.
Okay. And also, like when you are writing the paper, no, like see, you'll get some questions which are little tricky or tough, and they will not allow you to move forward also. And as a serious student, serious aspirant, you keep trying, 5 minutes, 6 minutes, 7 minutes spending on that question. So is it good to spend like that, or what is the strategy that we have to follow whenever we come across such questions?
The thing about difficult and tricky questions is that for everybody it's going to be difficult, not only for you. So it's okay if you leave it, but if you want to get like within top 100 or top 200, you have to solve it, two or three of them. And the other thing about difficult questions, like you can't identify in which section they are going to come from. It's like can be like in the very beginning of the paper, like the very first question or like the last one. So it can't go from like easy to difficult question wise in the question paper. You cannot say actually. So it's better to do the easy ones first so that the by that like don't go like in the same order they have given. Choose the questions randomly. Like once you read the question, you're going to know whether we can like I can do it or you can do it. Then do that question with like see whether it will be like solvable in 2 or 3 minutes. Then do that question and check for the other questions also. Like once you read a question, if you know it's difficult, leave it. Come back at it or like after attempting all of them. It's fine to leave hard questions because for everybody it's going to be hard. Like this year, if you see, there were like hard questions for 50 marks hardly. And if you got like 310, you would have got all India rank 20. So it's not harmful to leave the hard questions.
Okay. So basically, overall, when the students are writing the examination, so whenever they want to maintain the speed, accuracy, and all, leaving the tricky questions and all, so what is the final suggestion that now you give? Now you are talking directly about the JEE advanced exam, where 100 rank, 200 rank. Now they are in the preparation stage. Some are in 9, some are 10, some are 11th. So how should they take it up in their phase exams and other internal exams that they write? Because these are only mock exams, no, like preparatory exams. Yeah, please.
Like what I used to do for the speed and accuracy part is like once I do a question, if I have a gut feeling that this one I'm going to make a mistake, I just quick check it at that point itself. Because it's difficult to check, like once you complete the paper, you have to go through the same process again and you have to search where you worked it out in the rough sheet. My rough sheet used to be like very bad. So it's better to check at that point. If you have a gut feeling it's wrong, it's going to go wrong. And when you check it, you may find a mistake, you may not find a mistake, but you will have the confidence that it's going to be right. And coming to the difficult question, like I said, I usually attempt it at the very end. That time, like once you complete the easy and hard questions, you'll have approximately 1 hour or 45 minutes. You can get to like 3 or 4 of the hard questions. So at the end, you'll be leaving like only 1 or 2 questions in the whole paper. If you do it in the wrong way, like if you start with the hard questions, you'll waste time. Like even if you get the hardest question in the paper, like very first question, and waste half an hour in it, you won't be able to complete the paper. And at the end, you'll be leaving like 7 of the easy questions, not the hard one. Easy question is the scoring part.
Good. So what Kian says, I hope all of you understood, the students. So first you finish off easy questions. And after that, you come back to the challenging or tricky questions. So that way you can complete the paper in 2.5 hours. Then the last 30 minutes or 40 minutes time, you can come back to these questions. That's what Kian says. Hope all of you are noting down and listening to these points carefully because it is for you. Today's session is arranged only for you. They have come all the way. See, because they are also busy. They are getting ready with, of course, packing bags and all. They have to travel, no? Very soon they'll be joining IITs. So they are busy. We have invited them only for you. So please remember and implement in all the exams. Next, we will go to the next question to Rishabh. Rishabh, another main doubt that many of your juniors were asking, what did you prepare from any other books, something like other than Fiji material or something like that? Or what are the books basically that you prepared for physics, chemistry, maths and all to give JEE Advance?
Today in the market, there are a lot of reference books available for students. So it's a common misconception that you need to do more reference books to gain more knowledge, more expertise, but that is not correct. Instead, doing select reference books and practicing those questions is what matters more. So during my preparation, I approached my teachers for this purpose and they suggested some specific reference books for me, which really benefited me. So I remember the name of the authors and the publisher better than the actual name of the book, so I'll just say that. So starting with physics, a well-known book is Concept of Physics by H.C. Verma. I would suggest that book for those who feel have problems with their fundamentals. The book has really good theory as well as questions following it. Then for those who need to practice a bit more advanced level questions, I would suggest a foreign author book by I.E. Iridov. So I used that book, but I did not complete it because there were too many questions in that. But whatever questions I did those questions from those concepts which I was weak in, and that really benefited me. So coming to chemistry, chemistry has three branches. So starting with physical chemistry, the book by the author Narendra Avasthi will help provide a lot of questions for practice. And then for organic chemistry, we have the book which I used was authored by Solomon and Freil, which is again a foreign author book. So I use that for theory, for learning new reactions. And for inorganic chemistry, for practice, I used a book by K. Kumar. And for theory, I used a foreign author book called JEE. For maths, for me, I felt the Fiji package was more than enough. But for additional practice, I used the book whose publisher is Cengage. So if you look at the Cengage set of books, for each branch of maths, you have a huge book. And again, that's not easy to complete, given that you have only 2 years for JEE preparation. But again, when it comes to reference books, you have to be very selective of what you need to do. And for that, I'll advise you to approach your teachers, as they know very well what your weakness and what your strengths are. And they're the best people to guide you for this.
Very good, Rishabh. So I hope you must have listened to him. For physics, chemistry, maths, he has suggested. But one very important point that he has said at the end, the requirement purely depends on your understanding in that particular concept. Nobody can finish all the books and then Fiji material and all in 2 years or 3 years of time. It's too difficult. So in which concept you are weak, better first you discuss with the faculty member, then faculty member will be able to guide you correctly. Right? So with the suggestion of faculty, definitely you can move in that direction. Right, Rishabh? Now you have solved all these books, Irido, then JDL, then Cengage for maths, all the something. So basically, too tough for any student to complete all these books along with Fiji material and archive and all in 2 years of time. So can you suggest some techniques so that they can study more effectively and get good marks in the exam? Because they are getting confused, or otherwise sometimes there's no time at all to complete the package itself, forget about moving to other reference books and all. So they're struggling. So can you suggest some techniques based on your experience so that they can do the best preparation in that time, 2.5 months time for each phase?
First, begin with the package, because if you look at the difference between the package made by Fiji and reference books are very general in nature, whereas if you look at the package, it's specifically prepared for those who are preparing for JEE. But that's not how reference books are created. They are for general practice, for developing expertise in that particular area. So first, always go ahead with the Fiji materials first. After that, it's important to make a list of where you're weak in that particular chapter. For example, if I take maths, calculus, you may feel that you are good in differential calculus, but integral calculus may be weak. So first, after finding out your weakness, approach your teacher. So your teacher will suggest the appropriate book for that particular topic. And then once you get that particular book, again, there will be a lot of questions, out of which not all may be necessary. Some may be easy, some may be medium, some may be difficult. So again, you need to practice those questions which are really required to gain maximum benefit, because it is coverage that matters, not the number of questions that you do.
Okay. So basically the number of questions doesn't matter. So what he says is you just get the grip on the concept. Right. Good. Okay, Rishabh, thank you. We'll come back to you again. Right. Next. Srivatsa, it's your turn now. Yeah. So the next question is, you have written so many exams. Yes? Phase exams, chap test, Pragati, Brahmos, countless. Like I don't know the number. Right? I think big number. So now, the marks that you got in these phase exams, chap test and all that examinations versus the marks that you have scored finally IIT. What is the comparison? Do you have some relevance or otherwise no relevance at all?
There is actually a lot of relevance in that. In our, towards the end of our preparation actually, whatever tests we wrote, mostly Prakhar only used to come first, and here also he is first. And whatever order you see there, that was mostly the order which we got in our tests. I remember coming 5th, 6th in a lot of my tests.
Oh, good.
And here also I've come 5th. So I would say that especially in your phase exams, it's fine. It's fine if you don't get the rank which you're aiming for. There's no problem with that. But over the course of your 2 years in 11th and 12th, from phase 1 to phase 8, as long as you see an improvement from what you were previously, that is probably the only thing which you should actually look for, more than like, oh, I have to get like top first rank or second rank or 5th rank. That would be a more important thing to go after than just a particular number. Like one of our friends actually, in 11th beginning, he used to get like a rank 60, and then slowly towards 12th end, he improved from 60 to a top 10, and he also got a really good rank in advance. So that would be more important than just fixating on a number.
Very nice. So the student, he is not revealing the name, I don't know. So the rank 60, somewhere he was performing around there, and finally he has moved into top 10, working on these ranks. So it's really great. Would you like to name him? Otherwise,
He's not here today.
okay.
He's
Right.
Nitin.
Then, okay, good. But anyway, next week we'll meet him again. Good, nice. So what about AITS kind of exams, which are always scary? RDX, AITS. People say that they'll put you down, then they'll disturb you psychologically and all. Is it so? First of all, is it true?
That actually depends on your own nature. If you're a person who tends to not get disturbed, even if you score really, not just 8, not just tough exams, even easy exams, sometimes we do perform badly. That is human tendency. So if you're a person who tends to not get disturbed easily, then you won't have any problems. AITS, particularly because the question is asked over there, AITS in itself will be of a much tougher level than even JEE Advanced. But in a way, it's good because that 2-3 tough questions which come in JEE Advanced, those it prepares you to see those questions and not get freaked out in the final exam. Like, you can't look at the question and go, oh my God, this is such a tough question. Like, it prevents you from doing that over there because you'd have gotten used to seeing those many tough questions in AITS. And as for scoring in AITS, if you focus on chemistry, which will generally be easier than maths and physics, you will be able to get a decent score in AITS. And again, the same thing applies as long as your performance over all the AITS just keeps improving gradually. That itself is a better indicator rather than again fixating on a number.
Very good, very good. So see, the important takeaway is those who are in 12th standard right now. If you are in 12th standard, next couple of months, you will be starting your AITS. So the very important message from Srivats, AITS examinations will definitely be a challenge. The exams or the questions in the AITS paper will be much tougher than original IIT JEE paper. But you need not focus too much on your marks, because that will give you a good exposure to face tough and challenging questions in the final examination. There in the final examination, you will not get freaked out. You will have some confidence. Okay, fine. This is the question which I have seen similar to this in AITS paper or so. So let me try. So especially for the students who are aiming to get into the top 100, top 200, 500, there is a big message for you. There's a big message from Srivats. So you should also practice this. Good. Right, Srivats? We'll come back to you. Thank you. Right. Now moving to Arya. Arya?
Yes, sir.
There is a specific question to you from one student who is in 10th standard, wants to prepare for IIT JEE and Olympiads also. He wants to crack Olympiads and school exams, FITGI exams, Olympiad preparation, everything. He's getting a bit confused. So what is your suggestion to that boy?
I'm Arya, and what I would like to say for this is, see, Olympiads are something that are there in the system to give you more exposure, and they're just like, it's something that you might want to do because, say, you're interested in physics and you might want to do physics Olympiads and all that. So, and the most important thing for doing any Olympiad is like understanding the subject first. And that you would be required to do for JEE Advanced or school exams or whatever. So that's the first thing that anyone should ever do if they want to prepare for Olympiads. And then sometimes Olympiad questions are like addictive. You may want to do only Olympiad questions all day, and then you don't want to do like easy moderate questions which are which are very important for school exams and JEE advanced exams, but that should not be the case. You should fix some time in your schedule for doing Olympiad questions, because and then you should stay consistent throughout. Like you need not do only Olympiad questions on the day before and all that. That's not going to help you. And also what I'd say is most important in preparing for these exams is doing the past papers. So they'll give you a good idea of what kind of questions are asked, and mostly like questions are asked in a similar manner every year, but the concept will be different. If you can first try going through the old papers and then do the recent papers mostly with time, because that's what will help you on the final day. And what I'd say for physics Olympiad is, again, it tends to get more mathematical than you think it is. So you may want to do more of be more acquainted with doing long questions and all. And then for chemistry Olympiads, you will be having you may be given a new research problem or something like that, and then you'd have to think more about how to approach that problem and all. And then for maths Olympiads, they're just like out of the box thinking questions from other various topics like number theory or something like that. So if you do pay attention to the subject and then do the past papers properly, and I think that should be good enough for doing that. And school exams and FITGI exams, what you learn through classes and like doing your packages would be helpful enough for that.
Okay. So his message to all the students who are preparing for Olympiad examinations and all, especially he was talking about senior Olympiads, which you normally write in 11th and 12th standard. So the Olympiad examinations, if you see broadly, mathematics will be slightly disconnected from JEE syllabus. He said number theory and all other chapters and all, which are not connected with JEE syllabus. Chemistry Olympiad and Physics Olympiad, they are connected, but once you move up the ladder, stage 2 onwards, or otherwise after that especially, they get disconnected slightly from JEE syllabus because they'll be more mathematical, lot of maths. That's what you said.
Yes, sir. That's what I felt.
Whatever it is, he is not discouraging anybody to prepare or something like that. You can prepare, but you have to allot separate time. That's a separate way of preparing. FITGI exams, school exams, they go together, more or less hand in hand. But for Olympiads, especially at higher level. That means after clearing stage 1 and stage 2, it will be different and you need to focus in a different style on that. That's what Arya wanted to say. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Good. Right. Now, one more question is the peer pressure, which comes in the school or FITGI classes. How did you manage that?
So actually, you like there is a tendency for people to actually want to be better than others or something like that, or to get good ranks like top 5 ranks or top 4 ranks in your class or something like that. But then that's not very important. It's not as important as improving yourself every day. That's what's the most important thing in your entire preparation for 2 years. So what, like at the end of the day, like if you've say gotten some like 80% today, and even if you are the 10th or something in your class, say it's an easy paper, it doesn't matter. Like you should not worry about your rank or where you are. What matters is like where have I gone wrong? Where have I missed out that 20%? And you should try to analyze more about like how I could have solved these questions within the time frame. And you should also see like if you are unable to solve a question and if someone else solves it, you should just be willing to learn from them. It's not that you should only be able to do all questions. And I think that's what peer pressure meant. And balancing school and FITGI is something that one of my friends already spoke about, so that should be fine.
Good. So there's no need to feel pressure or something like that. They are all your friends only. So you can just keep sharing your ideas, learning, move on. So even after getting into IIT also, I hope you will be maintaining the same thing and enjoy your studies at IIT. Good, Arya. Nice. We'll come back to you. Right. Next question is to Nikhil, and very important question again, because many people are asking this. And probably the second popular question among the students: how to avoid social media distractions? Sir, many people have written in different styles. Sir, when my mother asked me to prepare the day plan, I have to give some half an hour slot for WhatsApp, Instagram, everything to check. Otherwise, I don't feel that my day is over. So they need to spend this much time, and as a result, finally, we are not getting sufficient time to complete assignments. And my mother, sometimes, she takes my mobile away from me and keeps it somewhere. That time, my brain doesn't work at all. What I did in half an hour will take 4 or 5 hours if I don't see my mobile. So how to avoid social distractions? These are the questions. Many are there like this. Yes, please.
So in class 11 and 12, I don't think you require social media like Instagram or Twitter or whatever. Like it's for people who have a lot of free time, and if you are preparing for JEE Advanced and you have a specific goal, you shouldn't waste your time on such distractions. And like say your school friends have like Instagram accounts and stuff, they are probably not as serious as you regarding such matters. So you shouldn't bow down to peer pressure and think, okay, my friends are having, so I should also do all this. You should stay focused and maintain on your path and focus on your goal. And about WhatsApp, I think if you use it for like doubt clearance and discussing concepts with your friends, then that's fine. I don't think you should spend a lot of time chatting with your friends. Yes, that's it.
Are you there on Instagram?
No, sir.
Twitter?
No, sir.
No. So what I can ask you are like, then you don't know the pain of that. Once you go there only, will come to know. Anybody else who is sitting on the stage having Instagram account? Yes. Srivatsa, I think, can you? Yeah, please. Are you active or not?
No, that's the thing. Like I created it in like 9th or something, and I just didn't log in at all. So that is probably the better.
See, that's the reason why they are sitting here, perhaps on the stage. Otherwise, they would have been. Right? Good. See, definitely social media is the biggest attraction, and once you go there, as Nikhil said, it's too difficult for us to come out. Because, of course, as parents, we know very well already how much time we'll be spending in that and all. So when it comes to 11th and 12th, especially when you are coming towards the examination and all, no other choice. As our director Ankur Jain sir was also saying, remember, you are competing with 14 lakhs. That's not easy. 14 lakh students, you need some serious preparation. That's what they are trying to say. If you are able to manage everything, like as Prakar said, no, sometimes I was getting only rank 5, 6, which is the lowest. If that is lowest for you, no problem, you can manage. But yes, otherwise we have to be serious only. Right? Okay, nice, good. Nikhil, one more question also there, because of course Prakar has already answered a little bit about that. What is the best way to relax? You are saying don't touch Instagram, don't touch Twitter. So now what is the best way to relax?
You can watch YouTube maybe, like probably half an hour or 1 hour. And you can talk to your parents every day.
Very
That's
good.
also important.
Very nice.
If you talk to them, like if you're facing any difficulties in your studies, they'll also be able to help you out, and you can share them like how is your preparation going, and they'll be able to support you better. So I think that's also important. Like it'll remove some stress, because you might think I'm pressured by my parents to do this preparation, but if you start talking to them, you'll understand that they're just supporting you, they're not pressurizing you. So that's also pretty important, and I think, yeah, that's all.
Okay. So the best way is, he says, for him, talking to parents. Very nice. Very interesting here. Good. Right. So anybody else wants to add anything to this? Because this is also another very important question. How to de-stress yourself? Any new way or better ways? Kian says sleep. Best is sleep. How many hours you used to sleep, Kian? Very bad. 10 hours. When? After exams or before exam?
Almost every day.
Every day. Wait, yaar, not, I don't think it is possible.
Like I used to do all the work in school, sir. So
Oh, at home completely enjoying. Right, nice. Yes, Sanjay.
I think one thing that is not properly considered is the importance of physical activity in sports. Like these days, everyone thinks you have to study 24 hours to clear JEE Advanced, but that was definitely not the case for me. I played for my school's football team. So I used to play every day, but it's important that you don't overindulge yourself. But again, sports is, in my opinion, the best way to de-stress and relax yourself. Like basically your mind goes entirely out of this into that game. So, you know, it's a very good recharge for your mind. So that's very important. People in integrated programs or classroom programs, even if you don't have proper PT periods or facilities, I highly advise you at least to take a jog, half an hour every day or something. Keep your body healthy. That's more important than a good rank.
Excellent, excellent answer, Sajid. So, look at this, a very important answer. At least go for jogging. No need to become a football player or tennis player, at least you go for jogging. That's enough. So, jogging though, yes, only you need a pair of shoes, that's it. What else is required? Rest all is available. And of course, commitment. Once we buy the shoes, commitment starts falling down like this. I hope all of you know that. So that alone should not be there. Very good, Sanjeev. Right, we'll come back to you. Thank you, Nikhil. We'll come back to you again. Harit, another question to you is backlogs. By the time I move to phase 1, suppose phase 1 is over, chap test, phase test, everything gets over, but my preparation is not over. I have pending in physics, I have some pending topics in maths, archive, I did not even touch, many doubts. So how did you manage this? Backlogs especially. Yes, please.
So yeah, I'm Harit, and first of all, it's a great pleasure to have you guys here. So yeah, initially when I joined Fiji in 11th. So it was around the pandemic time. So initially it was in online. So I wasn't able to follow through the class entirely, and like most of the time I'd be falling back in class. But for me, the phase 1 and phase 2 were kind of like that. I struggled a lot during the phase 1 and phase 2 part of my preparation. So, but then after that, pandemic ended and the offline classes started. And slowly I started picking up pace. So, but I didn't, when I tried to actually clear my backlogs of phase 1 and phase 2 as phase 3 and phase 4 was going. But soon enough, I realized it was a terrible idea because I'd lose out on the important topics of phase 3, phase 4, and the topics which should come after that. So when I consulted my seniors, they suggested that I don't do it, and that's what I did as well. But there would be some instances when you'll come across, some topics of, like I came across some topics of phase 1 and phase 2 as phase 3 was going. For example, there's a topic called gravitation, which involves a little bit of mechanics here and there. So those were kind of like opportunities for me to just rebrush, like learn a little by little. So, but I wasn't able to clear my backlogs till I didn't get the chance to clear my backlogs till the portions completed. Only then was I able to, go back to my backlogs and fully complete it. Till then, I didn't get the chance. So what I'd suggest is that it's fine to have backlogs, but first of all, don't have backlogs. Uh, yeah, but it's totally fine to have backlogs. In case, if it's something which is in the past, you can, you can manage after your portions complete. That's what I was able to do it, and it means like you will also be able to do it, right? So, yeah, you'll have sufficient time after the portions end to, go back to your backlogs and clear them. Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah. Harit, actually, especially the standard 12, presently who are in 12 standard, CRP or integrated, whatever it is, many of them are worrying, sir, we have already come to 12 standard, phase 5 is also getting over, or phase 6 we have moved, but 11 standard, lots of work is pending. So is it good to prepare or otherwise give some time for 11 standard syllabus also now, or should I focus only on 12 syllabus?
I would suggest that you focus on the 12th standard right now, because see, you would miss out the opportunity to learn the 12th concepts if you go back to your 11th concept right now. You wouldn't get the chance again to learn the 12th concepts at a later point of time. They'll just be backlogs again, just at a later point of time. If you focus on clearing the backlogs, which are in the phase 1 or phase 2, then you'll just end up having backlogs in the phase 5 or phase 6. That's it. So I'd suggest that you first, finish the thing which is going on currently, and then go to the backlogs. The topmost priority must be the thing which is going on currently, and only then should you turn your attention towards backlogs.
So when is the correct time to go back to 11th standard backlog?
I found the right time to be the time after my portions fully ended. I think it was around November or something, October or November. Only then did I go back to my backlogs and clear them, because we still had some 2 or 3 months before mains. So I was able to at least do some part of it. I wasn't able to, honestly, I wasn't able to complete it fully, but we had some 2 or 3 months, so I was able to do at least some part of it. I finished some part of my backlogs.
Gotcha. So, for again, 12th standard students especially, a very important message. Of course, before that, there is a clear message. Backlogs means it is not a bank balance where we can keep very happy when it is increasing. Backlogs, try to avoid, try to minimize. If at all, if it is not possible, nothing to worry much. You have time after November. That means once the syllabus gets over somewhere in October, in the month of November, you can happily, again, you'll get some time and you can go back to 11th standard syllabus. That's what he says. Hope you are all following, especially 12th standard. You're getting a lot of important tips and messages, very, very useful to you. The one more question is there for you, Harit. Time management on normal days and exam days, especially the main exams, important exams. So how did you manage this?
So on any normal day, I usually try to make a plan, but that mostly won't work out, because there are a lot of factors that you have to account into, like your mindset, whatever happened at school that day. So what I found out eventually was that it's the plan that you make some 2 or 3 days ago won't generally work, because there'll be a lot of external factors involved. So what I ended up doing was, I just took out, I just did whatever I was feeling like doing at that particular point of time. So on any normal day, I would, when I got home, I would first make a mental plan, like I'll do this and that till I sleep. Like I'll generally have some physics, chemistry, and maths together only. Or there'll be some days where I'll just feel like doing chemistry alone, or some days I'll do like maths alone. That's totally fine. That's totally up to you guys. But yeah, that's how I generally do in on normal days. On exam days, it's generally like me just revising that particular topic, which is on which I have the exam the next day. And people don't usually, do a lot of sums. It's first you need to know the basic things, the basic concepts, which are there for the test tomorrow, because you don't want to miss out on the easy questions, right? So first do that. Then, if you have time, go for doing sums and stuff. So that's how I used to do. I used to manage time on my exam days.
So good. Harit says that on exam day, instead of practicing more questions and all, first you concentrate on the concepts and make sure that your basics are good. Then you have time, you go to the questions. That's what Harit says. Good, Harit. Thank you. We'll come back to you again. Next question to Spandan. Spandan, another very important question where many of your juniors are struggling. Negative marks. They will be very careful in the exam. They think that they have done good only, but finally when the answer key is released, then they get to know that so many negative marks. And especially the ones where they feel that like I could have avoided. That pains them a lot. So what is your suggestion to avoid such negative marks in the exam? Yes, Spandan, please.
Actually, I also had this in my JEE 2023. So I made a bunch of silly mistakes, and I always ask my teachers on how to improve on them. So first of all, don't hesitate to ask your teachers for any help, and your peers also. Please ask them any doubts that you have. My teachers always help me, and my teachers told me that I needed to improve my focus during the exam. It was maybe because I was losing my focus that all these silly mistakes were happening. And first of all, accuracy is very important. Like Kian said, if you're having a gut feeling that you might get it wrong, then you better come back to it in the end. And how do you improve accuracy was one question that I had. And I think the answer to it is just practice. If you practice more, you will know which kind of questions you can do better. And if you do know how to do a question, you have to do it faster. That's the next step. But first, accuracy is very important. And this, I remembered one incident because I had practiced a lot of questions, but there was some question that I did not get, and I had asked others for the solution. And I did not memorize, like, I don't think memorize will be the correct word, but I did not understand the method properly. And one exam, a bunch of these questions came together. And I scored really bad, and I thought, what if this was my JEE Advance? These were all questions that I had seen before, and I had not gotten at the time. And I saw the solution, but still I could not do it. So that hurt me a lot, and then I realized that I had to make a note of whatever solutions that I got from others. Like, definitely after you try it on your own for quite some time, because if you don't attach yourself to the question enough, you'll most probably just forget the solution even if you get it. So try the question a lot. After you get the solution, try to make a note and just look at it time to time. So that, getting all the methods is really important, because if you have the best method, you can do it the most accurate way and the fastest way possible. So you can definitely avoid silly mistakes, and to gather methods, you have to definitely seek help from your peers and your teachers.
Good. So basically what he says is, practice makes you perfect. When you do more practice, automatically you'll get to know what is your strong area, and you will be able to get the accuracy levels more. And wherever you have a doubt or something like that, again, you discuss with the faculty and then see how it can be improved. This is what Spandan says in nutshell. Good. Spandan, you have another question also. Of course, it may not be connected to you directly because you are the topper, but still they are asking a piece of advice from you. Sir, everybody is talking about only the top ranks and toppers only. We are mediocre students, aiming for somewhere like 3,000, 4,000 rank, whatever it is. What is an advice? How should we study? We, especially many students told me in person also, we cannot connect with these students because they will be talking about only how to get into 100 or 200 or whatever it is. Sir, like it's very difficult for us. So what is an advice for such students who are aiming somewhere 3,000 to 5,000 or something like that? Mediocre.
I think Pawan sir and Ankush sir have already covered it very well. They said that if you attempt just the easy questions and moderate questions, you will get a very decent rank. There's nothing to fear. Like IIT JEE is not tough. You have to just keep on doing it.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. So what he says is like, just keep practicing easy questions and moderate questions. That will definitely help you to reach even much better than 3,000, 2,000, what you are expecting. Good. Right. Okay, Spandan, thank you. We'll come back. Next question to Sanjeev. Sanjeev. Yes. See, before I ask question to Sanjeev, I wish to inform one important, very important thing. So this boy, for 3 years, all the way, weekends, he has traveled from Vellore. He is from Vellore. Vellore to Chennai, he used to travel on weekends and he managed everything. Now only he told that he used to play football player for his school. Then, school pressure, then again Fiji studies, and with all this, he has managed with a very successful rank. So now, many of your juniors, especially from classroom programs, they normally say that, sir, for CRP students, it is very difficult, sir. Getting into IIT is difficult. Getting into top ranks, so it is very, very difficult. So this is what. Now you have proved them wrong. So what is the suggestion? How did you manage your all these works?
From my perspective, I think it's mostly relative as to what you mean by a good rank. If you think 694 is a good rank, me sitting here on this stage is just the answer to your question. But like, on a deeper connotation, I would like to go back to an incident that happened in my 10th standard. So after the FTRE exam in 10th grade, I had an opportunity to shift to the integrated program. But then because I couldn't find any accommodation here, I had to continue with the classroom program. So one day I went to my mom and I was telling her, Mom, everyone else is on the escalator, now I have to climb the stairs. So basically all of us, any program at FITGI, they take you the same thing. The destination is to clear advanced. But the perk of being in an integrated program is that the competition, the peers around you, they act as the escalator and they lift you upwards. But this does not mean CRP is any bad or any worse. Everything is practically the same. But in my opinion, you have to go an extra mile. We spend like much lesser time on classrooms or with our class teachers. So we have to put in our own efforts. So honestly, I don't think it's such a big deal to achieve, or it's not so hard to achieve what these guys have done here. It's essentially possible. Like, thinking back after Prakar told how he got this rank, and now I'm having thoughts like, if I could have followed a similar schedule as his, maybe I could have got a similar rank. There's actually no big deal. And also, I mean, CRP students are actually special. You guys get to spend time at school. You guys get to meet other people. You know a lot more. So in the end, that is what matters. Like, getting a good rank is in my perspective, it's important to get into IIT JEE. But in the end, if something goes wrong and if you don't get a rank that you're happy about, be happy that you've actually lived your life. You have so more to look forward to. So please do not think being in CRP is like weaker. CRP is equally competitive. Is there anything
please,
you
please.
want?
Yes, you can. Continue.
Okay, sir.
You want to say something? Continue.
Nothing in specific.
Right. Okay. So basically what he's saying is, see, being a CRP student, being all other commitments or whatever we call it, so he could manage successfully. He could manage successfully means any CRP student can also do that. So getting top ranks is possible even in CRP program also, provided if it is within you. If it is within you, definitely we can make it. So you have to aim for that. If you aim for that, happily you can make it. That's not a problem. And now, thank you, Sanjeev. We'll come back to you again. The next and the last question from my side to Asta. Asta,
Hello, sir. Good
it's a
morning.
long
Good
wait for
morning.
you. Yes. So now, some of your juniors, they are asking some emotional aspect questions, the questions related to emotions. Okay. So first of all, how did you, first of all, the parents, what was the help from the parents that you were getting during these 2 years or 3 years of hectic life, and how did they support?
I think the most important thing was joining in Fiji, because Fiji provides the pathway to clear JEE Advance. I don't think without Fiji providing this pathway, I would have been able to do what I have done. So joining Fiji's integrated program, that was a big decision, because there was a distance factor from my house to take into account, the factor that there wouldn't be many girls, or there were multiple factors to consider before taking the decision of joining into the 4-year Fiji integrated program. So I think the most important help that my parents did was tell me firmly to join this program. Even though the journey would be filled with ups and downs, they told, yes, you should join this, it'll be good for you. And then the next thing that my parents did to help me was they trusted in me completely. So, and they were happy as long as I was happy that I have made progress in my preparation. They were never upset about my marks. Rather, they would say, "Oh, it's okay if you don't get IIT also, no problem. You should be happy, you should be happy with the progress you have made, you should be happy that you have studied well." So, because they trusted in me and they were happy that I am happy studying, that was the biggest source of freedom for me, I would say. I was never having a burden from them that I have to succeed because they have invested so much of time and distance to provide this Fiji program for me. They were always very supportive. And
Very good. See, Asta is saying very nice point. See, almost every parent will be very supportive only. At times, they may get anger. That's only because of our actions. See, you know physics students, so for every action, there should be a reaction. So the reaction comes from the parents, especially from moms, little fast. That's okay, fine. But you need not take it seriously. So they were trying to help her. So similarly, every parent will be trying. That's not a big thing. So automatically, things will be okay once you clear JEE. Right? Good. Nice, Asta. Then, being the only one girl who is sitting here on the stage and then representing all other girls also, let's say, for example, how did you manage the time for other activities apart from your preparation? Because girls, many girls, they are saying that, like, sir, we are not getting time to socialize or otherwise, other activities and all. So I thought it is more or less like a repeating question only, though they have spoken about it, but from girls' point of view, if you can answer, good. From girls' point of view, if you answer.
so I did do a lot of extracurricular activities before 9th class. And I will have to agree, it was a sacrifice that I decided to make. Like, I could not, because of the timings, I would have to cut down on activities like dance or badminton. I cannot go for regular dance, badminton classes. So that's a sacrifice that you have to agree to make if you are interested in doing JEE and clearing JEE. And my understanding is that once you have cleared JEE, IITs generally provide plenty of opportunity to come back to those extracurricular activities that you have missed on. So that was something that I had in mind. And I did not spend much time on other extracurricular activities. At home, I would maybe watch some comedy show, nothing very intense that would emotionally invest. Like Prakhar said, once you start watching TV shows, you want to watch more and more. So I would restrict myself only to a comedy show that was 20 minutes long. So it gets over in that 20 minutes. I'm not interested in watching more of it. And that was my source of entertainment. Just a simple comedy show which won't make you emotionally invested in it. So also, so that you can switch back to your focus mode for studying. You don't have to worry about what's going to happen in the next episode. I would watch a movie occasionally during weekend when maybe after I've completed like some face exam and I have a weekend, that time I would watch some movie.
Oh, good. So you managed very well. So you have seen movies also during your preparation. First time I'm listening from any topper. Great. Nice. So we also want that you should continue your dance and then badminton classes after this. Don't sacrifice permanently. Okay. Time being, very good. So she sacrificed, probably the sacrifice is not a correct word. She took a break for 2 years and then she'll come back, go back. Don't worry. So we want every student to understand that she did not sacrifice, only took a break for 1 or 2 years or whatever it is. Again, she says that she'll go back because many girls will have lots of aspiration, music, dance, other things and all. So you need not miss out them in your life. Happily you can go back. If at all, if it is required, you need to take a small break for 1 or 2 years. And after that, Asta will definitely help you in learning more and more dance. I'm sure she will also start. Right, good. So that's from the pool of questions that we have collected from many students through our Google Forms. So I have summarized all those questions into this and I have asked questions from these people. Now it's your turn. You want to ask anything which is not covered here, you are most welcome, happy, and they will be very happy to answer. So it's up to you. Now we can go with the questions from you. Anybody wants to ask the question, please raise your hand. Yes. Mike here, please. So first, this girl wants to ask, so students' preference. Sir, I'll come back to you, sir. Mama, Mike, please. Yes, please tell your name and class, then you ask the question.
I'm Sanvika, class 11. So your class only, sir. Last time when we were discussing, you were like, you should give preference to different subjects for like different time. So what preference order do you prefer? I mean, chemistry, maths and physics, different subjects. Do we need to spend equal times for everything or do we have to allot more time for each of some subjects and less for other?
Okay. You want anybody on to answer you specifically or anyone can answer? Okay. Right. Asta, you only can answer? I think she'll be happy to listen from you.
In terms of spending time, it also depends on which one you're weaker in or which one you're stronger in. I was particularly weaker in maths, so I had to spend slightly more time in maths in comparison to physics and chemistry. But say it depends on your own strength and weakness. Also doesn't mean that if you're strong in something, you purposefully spend lesser amount of time to it. You cannot neglect it. You need to spend a good amount of time with it, but probably a slightly more amount of time to the subject that you are more weak in.
Okay. Is it okay? You want to ask any other question?
Yes, sir, it's fine.
Right. Good. Thank you. Sir, yes, please. Please give it to the sir. Yeah. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. As a parent, I want to ask a question to maybe 2-3 students, like how the day starts from them and how they continue the day and the frustration in between it comes when they come return from school to home, how they quickly revert back to their study mode.
Okay.
I want to ask one from the person who every day travels from Value to here.
Okay.
One,
Sanji.
and
Yes.
next to a girl, and one to the topper.
Yeah. You understood the question?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, please.
One small correction. I was very fortunate that COVID gave me the opportunity to attend a lot of classes online. I'm extremely thankful to FITGI for continuing the online program. But coming back to your question, my school was particularly notorious in having school until 5 o'clock. So I used to go to school at 8 in the morning. I came back at 5. I had online classes usually every day. And it ended at 9, and I would study a bit and I'll sleep. But in general, balancing. Wait, did I actually deviate from the question or?
No. You are in the right track. Yeah,
Okay.
tell me, go ahead.
So it actually depends a lot on the school. From what I hear from my friends in Chennai, school ends at around 2 o'clock or something. So after 2, you obviously will have some time at least to study, to revisit the concepts in Udo. My personal routine was initially I used to wake up at 4 o'clock in the morning. That was when my motivation was at the highest drive. I woke up at 4, I would study for 3 hours. I would go to school at 7 o'clock, I'll come back at 5. I'll have online classes until 8 or 9, and then I'll have dinner, and after that it was mostly relaxing. But one particular issue that I found with the schedule was I wasn't sleeping much. So this is also very overlooked. I highly appreciate that Kian said he slept 10 hours a day. A lot of people, we actually don't score well because we don't sleep well. My initial schedule was I used to sleep from 10 to 4, and I noticed my performance was significantly bad. So in my opinion, you should at least sleep for 8 hours, have your school stuff for 8 hours, and remaining you'll have an extra 8 hours. So if you subtract some 2 hours for the regular chores, you'll still have 6 hours to study on your own or do your own work. In my opinion, that's more than enough to do anything you wish to do. Like, even beyond FITGI, if you wanted to do something, you could still do.
Perfect. Thank you.
Good. Yes, sir. Next question, please.
No, sir, I'm good. All the best to all the future champs of India. Thank you.
Thank you. Yes. Next, who wants to ask?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes. Very
One
good
student
morning
from-
to everyone. My heartfelt congratulations to everyone in the dais.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
One second. Yes, please. Yeah. Can you speak little louder, sir? Or
Yeah.
the microphone, you can bring it close. Yes.
No worries.
Please, sir.
I am saying that my heartfelt congratulations to everyone who is in the dais, and thanks for the FIGI who is invited us to this place. This question is for everyone in the dais. Like, what do you feel? Like, and before 4 years, you were like in starting this preparation, and today you got achieved. So, what is the difference that you feel between these two gaps? The journey.
The difference, sorry, we are not...
No. See, before you were like, when you are into the standard of 9, something like that, when you were, before joining the FIGI, and now you got achieved. Okay, so your mindset and the transformation during this journey, how was it is?
Okay. Right.
Is it understandable?
Yeah. Yes, we got it, sir. We got it.
Thank you.
So, can you answer this? You understood the question? Yeah, please.
Like, first when I joined in 9th, like a lot of my friends were more intelligent than me. So, they knew a lot more than me. So, when I joined in 9th, I couldn't compete with them, but when I learned new concepts, you have to just be motivated to even push yourself further harder. You shouldn't stop yourself because my friends already know more than me, so just stop your studies. So just keep on studying, and after some time, you will feel that I'm ready to compete with my friends, and at that time you can start comparing your performances. So from 9th to 12th, I think my mindset, initially it was like, I'm fine with, okay if I'm going to get a top 10 rank with my FIGI friends, and slowly it'll come down like top 10, top 5 and top 3 or something. So if you're going to be motivated, you can definitely do what you want to achieve. So yeah.
Is it okay, sir? Yes. Thank you. Yeah.
Hi, I'm Akshara and I'm grade 12 right now. So as the date for the exam approaches, like I have 5 months left till mains, how did you go about revising the portions that they covered earlier, like in 11th grade?
Okay, good. So, Prakar, can you take this question?
For revision, I would say for for me, the way of revision was revising my short notes. I made short notes a little late. So usually it is preferred whenever you complete a chapter, the next month you revise the chapter in a and make short notes of it. Because just imagine I have my exam next week. In the 7 days, I want to revise the whole syllabus 15 times. You can't do it with long notes and those questions you have marked, circle, star, and those things. So my way to revise was to revise my short notes. I started making short notes a little late, around December, just JEE mains was announced during that time. So whenever I used to, anytime I thought I have to revise this chapter or sometimes I scored, I always used to go back to my short notes and revise whatever is there because I had realized that for example, a chapter, my long notes are 100 pages. Then there are 20 pages of assignments, which I have marked. Some question is star, some question is circle. I cannot go all through that all the time. So I would suggest that anytime you want to revise something, create short notes of that chapter and keep updating them. Any exam you do, suppose I give an exam, I make 10 mistakes in that exam. Whatever mistake I made, I write that in the short note so that whenever I'm revising, I have the mistakes which I made earlier. So for the first time, if you're revising, you don't have a short notes, then you can revise the whole chapter theory thoroughly and create short notes at that time. So short notes is the basic way for revising throughout the syllabus.
Very good.
Can I ask a follow-up?
Yeah, please.
Okay, so when did you start revising? Did you start revising while the portions were still going on, or did you wait until all the portions were over and then started revising?
To do a formal revision, I started it after the portion was complete, portions were there, and then the test, last final phase test, full syllabus tests were complete. Then I started my revision, formal revision. In between, sometimes if for example, like I'm in class 12th, there's an electrostatics question, but it involves mechanics. I feel that I am weak in some topic of mechanics, then I can revise that topic in between. But as a formal revision, the whole revision I started after.
Like, I heard that some people, the portion during ninth, that's what I keep hearing. But how it helps, like, getting good rank, like really it's required. Those are all the two questions.
Right. So, Srivats, can you answer this question? There are two questions.
Yeah, the first part I think I can answer.
Yeah, please.
My parents actually, since ninth, they just didn't really mind what I did with my studies. They left me to do whatever I want, and they actually didn't even ask for my ranks whenever phase tests or chapters were there. And I felt that helped me a lot because I didn't have that, okay, I have to go tell my father that I've performed badly, or okay, I have to go tell my father that I've performed well. I didn't have any of that. And I was able to continue studying in my own style. And I feel that in the end, because they did that, only because they did that, I was able to do this well in the final exam. Like if they had pressured me into sitting and studying for 6 or 8 hours a day, I don't think I'd have been able to do this well. But the thing is that depends on each child actually. So if your child is saying that, okay, no, only if I get some external motivation, I can do well in the exam, then you have to provide that external motivation. So the best thing would be in such cases for all parents, the best thing would be to actually sit and talk a lot with their children. Even if it's not about studies, my parents used to if I was sitting and studying for 2 hours or 3 hours continuously, my mother would come and tell, no, you come and talk with me, don't study. So that would actually help your kids, and that'll take their mind away from all the pressure which they are putting that much pressure on themselves. That'll probably slightly help that and give them sense of comfort that, okay, whatever happens, I can approach my parents. And yeah, one last thing is like, please don't tell them, no, you have to get within this rank or you have to get this mark. That is going to cause them, that is what will cause them to do worse, because they'll have that sense that if I don't do this, I can't face my parents or something, and that'll make it much, much worse. So please try not to do that. This is for like all parents sitting here. Thank you.
Very good, excellent. Right, nice. Kian, can you take up the second question?
Repeat the second question.
Second question is, the children are studying like 11th standard syllabus in 9th itself and all. So is it really required like that for getting into top ranks in JEE or not necessary?
It's not actually necessary, because like the only advantage is that they learn it priorly. Like when you start 11th, you will get to know it by that time, and you can again do revision like once your 12th, like in the November season. So like you do have time. It's not necessary learn it priorly and learn it again. It's actually a waste of time if you do it, keep doing it again and again, learning the same concept instead of learning something new.
Okay. Anybody else wants to answer this question? Yes, Harit.
Hello, sir.
Switch on the mic.
So this is something my teacher told us. Our teacher told us. What he told us, sometimes learning a particular thing beforehand can be harmful as well. Say that you learned a particular thing, and that is you learned the thing earlier, but now it's being taught in class. You are under the impression that you know that particular thing well enough, but you might have learned only some 75 or 60% of it. You won't listen to the class with full focus as you would, as any other student would who hasn't learned the concept. So while that can be a little bit, you might feel like you are ahead of the game, that can be a little bit harmful as well. That's what I feel.
Okay. So that is their feeling about learning in advance. So no need to learn much before. If you are learning the concepts of that particular class where you are studying in, it's more than sufficient. But ensure that you are enjoying the concepts and enjoying the studies. Yes, next.
Hello.
Yes.
Yeah, actually, I'm Pranav. I'm from 11th integrated. So one thing I generally used to face during the test analysis sessions is that the very same questions that I used to solve in the test would be easily solvable in my test analysis sessions. I feel I could have solved that question, but during the exam time, I wouldn't be able to solve this. I feel I have the potential to solve those questions, but that wouldn't be possible during the exam time. Is it due to stress or due to some other factor?
Nikhil, can you answer this question?
It's probably because of stress only. Like, if you're able to solve a question when you're practicing, then you should be able to solve it during an exam also. If you're not able to solve, then the only reason is because you're not focusing enough, or maybe you're under stress. So you can probably prevent that by practicing questions at your home with a timer. Like say 20 questions in 2 hours or something like that. Or 20 questions in 1 hour, depending on what type of questions they are. So by that way, you'll impose stress on yourself during your practice time. So you won't be able to not do questions. You'll be able to do questions which you already done during your practice, because you're already stressed out during your practice. So like the feeling of stress won't be new, or it won't be like, it's not going to stop you from doing questions. So that's one thing you can do.
And another thing I used to feel during tests is, I never feel satisfied with my results. I feel I could have done somewhat better. So what should I do to improve that?
That's good only, no? You should feel like that.
See, Pranav, if I am right, see, this boy Pranav, with whom you are talking, he is a CBSE 10th standard board topper. Am I right, Pranav?
Yes.
You must have seen his photograph in the newspapers. So the boy who got highest marks in CBSE 10th standard board marks, if I'm right, 498 or something?
496.
So these many marks he has scored, and he is also feeling the pressure, stress. This is definitely there. As long as they are within the limits, they are good only, nothing wrong. Only thing is we should not allow them to cross the limit. Within the limits, it's good. That's what Nikki is also saying. There is always, of course, Prakhar was also saying, I think, there is always room for improvement. Okay, that is what we have to do, step by step. This exam, next exam, and next exam. Finally, we'll reach the goal. Okay, no need to get disappointed when you get less marks or something like that now. You are in the beginning of your preparation, right? Good.
Can I ask another question?
Yeah, please, why not?
Yeah, another thing I feel during my preparation is, if I feel I had to do more, I used to cut my sleep, but that affects me more the next day. So whenever I used to sleep more, the next day I wouldn't be able to match the concepts that they have taught. So how to like adjust between the sleep as well as the preparation?
Okay, good. So how to adjust between the sleep and the preparation? I think Kian to need not ask. Kian was enjoying his sleep. I think Kian is not the right student. So who else will answer that? Who will be answering this question? You want to ask Ramchandran? Yeah. He has made it very clear in the beginning itself. 10 hours of sound sleep. No compromise.
I would say prioritize your concepts which you want to study first. Like you have some 3 concepts to finish it by the day and you don't have enough time and you cannot sacrifice your sleep. Firstly, I would say don't sacrifice your sleep. That's very important. And whatever you want to study, study within the time, and when it's time to sleep, just go sleep. Don't hesitate to sleep and all. And what you're going to study before sleep, prioritize your concepts which you're going to study and try to finish it from the top order. Let's say you have to finish 3 concepts and you don't have enough time. It's fine if you're going to finish 2 concepts and the next concept you can cover it in the next day. So don't sacrifice sleep and do the important things first. Like tomorrow if you have to submit some assignment, do that assignment first and then do the remaining work. So that will help you.
Good.
Thank you.
So that's very important. Health, again, it will get affected. Okay? Yes. Yes, sir.
My name is Senthil Kumar.
Yes, sir.
See, my question is, nowadays, since recent years, I see people preparing from YouTube. Okay. So is it okay, people preparing from YouTube? See, whenever they have questions, they just logging into the internet. So since that, due to the advancement of internet and these things, they are just typing their questions in the search and they are getting the answers from YouTube. So what I could see is they are not preparing much from the textbooks, whatever been provided by the FITG or their class. So it's weird, but see how we used to study is like preparing a lot of paperworks, studying a lot of books, right? So it's a bit weird why people going entirely in the different way of, maybe due to the advancement it is okay, but I could see the materials is also nice. But still want to know, is that okay, the students preparing through YouTubes? So can someone answer?
Right. Yes, sir. Spandan? Hope you got the question? Yeah.
I feel YouTube won't give you the one-to-one session you could have with your teacher. If you have a concept that is not clear to you, why go to YouTube when you have your teacher? And if you find it more interactive or something like that, then it's not, in the long term, it will not help you because your teacher can specifically point out where you are going wrong. The YouTube video will just tell you the general thing. Like this is the concept, and whether you understand or not, that they can't help you further if you don't understand from the YouTube video. Teachers are always there, you can always ask them. And I would definitely prefer books because YouTube, you can always go off on a tangent, you're watching this, and the next moment you're watching something else. So you may end up wasting a lot of time. So definitely, I think it might be because you're a bit shy or nervous to ask your teachers face to face. But once you do that, you'll feel more comfortable, and so please ask your teachers instead of YouTube videos.
Very good. Excellent answer. Very nice. Next. Yeah.
Yeah, I am Samarjit of class 11th. I would like to ask the question to Kian bro.
Yeah.
You told you'll sleep for 10 hours. I imagine myself. I go to, after school ending at 4:30, I'll go to home, get ready, eat something and go to sleep. Then wake up for dinner. Then again I study for like 2 hours a day and go to bed at 12. I don't feel like I'm studying properly in the right way. I don't end up completing all the concepts. So what should I try to do?
Like I said, I used to sleep 10 hours only like last 6 months because at that time we had a late batch actually. It goes from morning 9 to evening 9. After going to home, I can't study anything. I just eat and go to sleep. But prior to that, what I used to do is I used to come home. I tried various methods actually. Sometimes I used to come home, eat, sleep for like 6 hours, wake up at some 2 o'clock and read, but that didn't work out. So what I used to do, like, I tried taking power naps. You can do for half an hour. That actually refreshes your mind. Don't go to like YouTube for refreshment something. Just sleep for 15 minutes. It's actually really helpful. 1.5 hours is actually advisable, but if you can do half an hour, it's good. Just try doing power naps. It'll actually refresh your mind.
I am kind of a guy who sleeps, who don't wake minimum for 2 hours.
Oh, then 1.5 hour is the actual advisable amount because after full 1.5 hour, your body is like fully rejuvenated. That's like the scientific basis. I used to do for half an hour because once I cross that half an hour barrier, like you, just sleep.
One more question. I told I will study for 3 hours. On this whole 3 hours, I'll be like fully focused only for 1 hour. Rest of the hour, I walk the house, roam, and like search for something else.
That actually happens. Like people who tend to study for 6 hours, it's not that they study for the whole 6 hours. It's important that even if you study for 6 hours, you have to even if you study for 1 hour, you should use it effectively. Like that 1 hour can be equal to someone else 6 hours of time. So it's not necessary you sit at 3 hours at a stretch. Sit for 1 hour, take a 15-minute break. That way, like your walking will be satisfied, and again resume it after that 15 minutes.
Thanks, bro.
Right. Got your answer?
Yes.
Good.
Another question.
Yes. Hello.
So,
Could I ask?
what would be the suggestion, like whether to extend your time in the night to study, like till 2 o'clock, 1 o'clock, 12 o'clock, or getting up but in the early morning to study? Which would be the better?
It's not advisable to extend till 2 o'clock. Like getting up early in the morning is beneficial actually. If you can study at morning 5 o'clock by waking up, it's really helpful because morning 5 o'clock your brain is fresh and retains more of the memories you study. When you come after school, your brain is tired. Even if you study, it's not like only 50% of the information will be stored. Morning 5 o'clock, you have done nothing. It's just start of the day. It will be helpful to you if you can wake up at 5 o'clock.
Good. Right. Yes. Yes.
Yes.
Please.
My question is, how did you get? Yeah, my name is Abdullah. I'm from class 9. How did you get some amazing motivation? Because it's quite hard for me.
How do you get amazing motivation? Okay. Right. Yeah. Spandan wants to answer. Yes, please.
I am not actually self-motivated, to be honest. My mother especially was more passionate about JEE than me. So my mother kept motivating me, and definitely my peers and faculties the most. My peers especially because you can compete with them, and seeing their motivation, their what struggle they're doing to get better, that will inspire you the most. And teachers also, they were ever helpful. So they also used to conduct motivation sessions for us. So that helped a lot. So peers and your teachers, keep them as your role models, and you will definitely get motivated.
Thank you so much.
Excuse me, sir.
Good.
Sir.
Right. Yes. Yeah, please.
I would like to add on to
Please.
that.
Yes,
Sorry
Srivats.
for interrupting.
No issues.
I know sir is not here, but CSKR sir is my chemistry teacher. He was actually like probably like one of the biggest sources of motivation for me, because I was self-motivated. Self-motivation, it works, but it wasn't like that strong. And even towards like the very end stages of my preparation, I was still content with around top 1000 rank. I was like, fine, if I get that, it's good. But CSKR sir, he actually scolded me for doing that, and he made me put a bet with him. So in that, and he forced me, like he was like, you have to get within top 200 or top 150, and that actually became a really, really big source of motivation for me. And that's what, so as Spandan said, I think if you interact really well with all of your faculty, they will also become a really big source of motivation for you, because what they're doing is not for their own profit. They're doing everything they're doing for you guys only. So
Very good, yeah.
They're
Thank
not
you.
going to gain anything by teaching you for your 2 years or 4 years. They just want you to do really well. And in fact, if you do really well, they are probably going to be more happy than you are. So that itself, like, just to respect them, I feel that you have to like be motivated and ensure that you do really well after.
Absolutely. Thank you. So, very nice.
Sir,
Beautiful words. Beautiful words. Yes, yes, Sanjeev.
can I add something for the CRP perspective?
Yeah, yeah.
Because CRP students in general have lesser time with the teachers, so this motivational aspects used to be a problem for me too, but personally I am a very self-motivated person. But in my opinion, if you're actually so devout on the goal, you won't need external motivation. So I wouldn't go into what external and internal motivations are and all that. But just fix yourself a goal. Do not settle until you achieve that goal. That is basically all that is motivation. You don't need a teacher to talk to you for half an hour or anything. You fix a goal, you achieve it. That is motivation. It's so simple. Just don't complicate it.
Okay, good. That is his view. One second,
Hey,
sir.
hey,
One
my name
second.
is Harish. I'm from class 11. So I have a question. If there are people who actually outperform you in face tests or chapters or any test, and they also try to demotivate you or demoralize you on not performing well, how to approach them or how to deal with them? Anyone can answer.
Right. So, Prakar? No, no, general it is. I think he is not asking any particularly. Okay,
Sir,
okay.
I think I can
Yes,
answer.
please.
I would say that since all of these people were much, much better than me, uh, you should take their remarks at you as not a demotivation but as a challenge to come compete with them and come be close to their level of excellence that they are at, and not demoralize yourself with whatever they say to you. And I don't think they would intend it as demotivation. You could rather approach them and ask them how their methodology of solving questions. Because the people who are doing, all of them were doing so much better than me. They were constantly helping me, and I was learning new methods by interacting with them. So I think it was a very good learning opportunity for me that I had so many people who were doing better than me.
Very good, Asta. Very good. See, like, there is no need of feeling pressure or something like that. Every comment, take it as a challenge. Good. Nice. Next.
How do you manage tiredness? Like while you guys study, you might be feeling so tired. So sitting late at night, getting up in the morning. So almost the mobiles are not the snoozers. The mothers are the snoozers. They keep saying 5 minutes, 2 minutes. I'll get up in 5 minutes. So they're not able to get up from the bed. Sitting late at night, managing in the morning is really difficult for the student and for as a parent. So how do your parents manage it, or how did you guys manage tiredness?
How did you manage the tiredness? Okay. Right. Rishabh? Yes.
When I used to come from school, I used to feel sleepy. And then there are times when I used to sit with the book and I fall asleep. And my parents come inside and then scold me. So it is common for anyone to feel tired after school because it's all brain work. You're studying the whole time. So for this, you need to maintain a schedule and be sure about how much time you're going to spend for relaxing. For example, some people say that taking rest, taking power naps will help. For some people who fall asleep, they cannot get up. So you need to think about something else like listening to music, playing outdoors. So each student will have their own way of relaxing. So accordingly, they need to set up a schedule and be sure about how much time they spend for relaxation. And that will really benefit them in the long run in managing their studies.
Okay. Good. Yes. Madam, is it okay, ma'am? Right. Thank you. Yes.
I'm Akash of 11th standard integrated. What I want to know is like in chapters we have like very less duration for completing the if a lesson in physics, work energy power, let's take it. So within a span of like 20 or 10 days, like they a chap test is scheduled, and like what I'm going to ask is like we have to finish every books, like what you say is H.C. Verma and the package and like and archive and all things, and then only like should we attend the chap test, or like what should be the approach to attend the chap test. And what my father usually like says is you have to finish your like preparation completely and then only you should attend the chap test. Like what do you like follow, and what do you
Right.
think?
Yeah. Arya?
Like there are a lot of questions that are available in your packages, archives, and whatever materials FitG has provided, plus whatever books you're solving. And thinking that you can finish it before like the chap test would not be a very good idea, because see, like as you said, work energy power is one chapter. It'll appear on your chap test, on your face test, on some other exams like RDX or something like that. And then maybe you can consider doing like like few questions, maybe 20 questions before the chap test and 20 questions before RDX or something like that, whatever, depending on how many questions you've got. The important thing is that you finish it by the end. Like if you, by the end, like by the end I mean like before JEE Advanced, this, like you solving everything, solving some, maybe some 100 or 200 questions on the same chapter at a stretch may not benefit you the same way solving questions in breaks would help you. Because when you do like questions in breaks, like maybe you solve 20 questions this week on work energy power, and next week you solve 20 more questions, like if you do something like that, two things are getting done simultaneously. You're completing your questions, you're also revising the chapter one more time, like after a certain span of time. So that would benefit you more than trying to complete every single question that is available before your chap test or face test.
Very good. Got your answer, Akash?
Yes, sir, I got my answer, and I have another question.
Yeah,
Like,
please.
I have seen many, like in even 2022, the topper of Fiji had like had aced like Olympiads, like some like many of the Olympiads. So is Olympiad really needed for like really clearing JEE mains and advanced? No, not mains, advanced.
See, like Olympiads are something that are there, like they're there for you to enjoy. They're not something that you should take too much stress on, and it doesn't matter, right? Like you're not required to clear any Olympiad in order to do well in JEE Advanced. Actually, I would say that JEE Advanced and Olympiads have no relevance at all. Like maybe the first level are first levels and this are related, but the second stage onwards, there's no relevance between JEE Advanced and Olympiad. Both of them are different things. Both of them test different areas of your brain and so on. So if you are really like fascinated by subjects, say chemistry or physics, you can explore, spend some time every day for learning more about the subject, and like what's important is that you enjoy solving every question that you get on an Olympiad paper, because they're all like most of them are designed to make you think in different directions. And again, even if you don't clear it, it doesn't matter. You've learned so much by the end of preparing for Olympiad. So the process is what is important, not the outcome.
Yes.
Good.
Yes, sir, my
Nice.
doubt is clear.
Very nice. So the process is very important. We learn more. Yes, next.
So I'm Akash of class 12 integrated.
Yeah.
So I have a basic problem. I'm better in maths and chemistry, but like though I study physics more, I feel like I'm very much low and I don't have no confidence in physics. I spend more time in physics, but still I feel like I don't know anything. Is there any way to improve? Because everyone said read H.C. Verma, but I feel like I know everything. Like basics, I'm better at basics. Like whole mechanics, I feel like a problem. What should I do for that?
Correct. That is a problem with physics itself. Not only you. See, if the problem is only with you, you should feel bad. Everybody, you can ask them. Yeah. Yes, Srivats.
I have not, it's not even had at this point. Still have the exact same problem in physics. The thing is, you will struggle. Like, it's harsh, but throughout 11th and 12th, that's what happened to me. I used to feel that even though like in class, I used to pay a lot of attention and devote extra time at home just so that I can practice more physics questions. I always felt that when it came to chap tests or phase tests, almost all my friends used to outscore me. And the thing is, you said that you feel that your basics are covered, right? In JEE Advanced, in the end, that's what that actually matters. Physics is not going to really test you on if you're able to solve extremely difficult problems. It's not going to test you on that. It's going to test you on how good you are at fundamentals. And most of the questions are going to be easy or moderate. So as long as you have your basics covered, finally in JEE Advanced, you will actually do well in physics. You don't have to worry about that. Like there is this one small instance that I'd like to share with you. We have our AITS series, and that's known for having notoriously tough physics. In the last AITS paper which we had, I scored 257 on 360. Now it seems like a good score, but when you look at it, I scored 117 and 103 in just chemistry and maths, and I scored 37 in physics. I couldn't talk about it to PCR sir because I didn't want to give him a heart attack the week before the exam. But the thing is that will happen, and it happened like as close as a week before the exam. But in the final exam, I was able to get like a decent 90 score, which is good. And as I said, as long as your basics are, if you feel that your basics are really good and you're only struggling with the moderate and tough questions, then you really don't have to worry about that. If still like, you're like, no, I want to get like really good marks in physics, then probably just keep practicing more. And for that part, I'd like to give it to KR.
The thing about physics is that you don't need to know everything. You just need to have the conceptual clarity. You should know what to apply and where to apply. It's not like you can apply just because it's related to that chapter. It's not like you should use only the formulas from that chapter. Physics usually consists of 2-3 chapters mixed together type of questions. So you should have the conceptual clarity, and you should know like what formula to apply and where to apply. That's the thing that actually matters. You can basically practice Iradov. Iradov has been like the general physics, JEE physics level questions nowadays. Like if you're able to do the questions from that book, then you're set to write JEE Advanced physics paper part at least.
Okay, I have two more doubts. Like after the January mains and the JEE Advanced, between that the second JEE mains and board exams were there. Like how did you manage your time?
Yeah, between the board exams and then JEE means second session. So how did you manage the time? So Asta, would you like to answer?
So your JEE mains preparation is pretty NCERT oriented, I would say. So while doing JEE main preparation, if you have done JEE main preparation properly, during board exam, all you need to worry about is wording your sentences correctly, that's all. And computer science, and that would be for physics, chemistry, maths. And for computer science and English, I would say, if you have paid attention in all your classes, giving little more, during board exam, giving more attention to computer science and English should have you covered. Also during my board exam, during the days in between also, I focused only on board exam and not on my JEE mains or JEE advanced. That time I focused solely on board exam, but I did not devote much time towards board exam before that, because that was covered in the JEE main prep.
And another one, on the day of JEE Advance, how did you feel?
On the day of JEE Advance, how did you feel? Yeah. Yes. You are asking somebody?
No, sir. Not specifically.
Anybody can answer? Okay. Right. Yeah, Prakar.
On my day of JEE Advance, before the exam, I was little anxious, like how could the paper be, but I had that self-belief in myself that because I have practiced every type of paper, so whatever comes, it will be a surprise, but it won't affect me badly.
Very good.
Although during the paper it happened between 1 or 2 times as you see the paper. Like a story was the paper one I think. Paper one I started with chemistry. The first 4 questions I solved all 4 of them wrong. And I solved it wrong. I solved the question. It was a multiple choice. I got a different answer. I still had the feeling something is wrong. So I solved it again. Then I realized that the first question I solved wrong. I said, okay, it's fine. Go to the second question. Second question also I did wrong.
Oh.
Then again I checked it again. I realized that it's wrong. So it happens during the exam. It will happen. Sometimes like your heart starts beating faster. But this is what we are practicing for in the last 2 years. This is what we call exam temperament. In the 2 years, what all these situations we practice to take care of it. It happened with me also in between 1 or 2 times. Like my heartbeat started faster just at the moment of submitting the exam, just 2 minutes before that. My heartbeat went a little faster. Did I do this question wrong? Did I do this question wrong? But the way is to keep it in control. And that is what I practiced in the last 2 years. Whenever I used to give, for example, an AITS I gave, my approach to AITS was, it is my real JEE Advanced exam. Whatever is my aim, I have to do better than that. So sometimes in AITS also it happened. For example, the first AITS I gave, during the AITS in between I felt I don't know anything. 2 questions I couldn't solve 2 questions. So after the exam the same day I analyzed why did that happen? What could I do to improve? So because of all this analysis, during the real JEE ones, even if something like that happens, you are in control of yourself. So for me also, 1 or 2 times it happened, but because of the practice, I was in control of myself. So it didn't go the bad way.
Okay, good. So,
Okay, I
hope
have
you
no
got
more
it.
doubts.
Yes.
Thanks, everyone.
Right, good.
Excuse me, sir.
Yes, madam,
Excuse
please.
me, sir.
Hello, I'm Shija here, parent of a 4-year integrated program. Just wanted to know that how are you managing with the NCRT syllabus and the FITG when it comes to this? I was told that it is becoming more of a tough thing to manage during the NCRT and FITG together. Can you just put up a little more light about that?
Right. So though this question is answered already, but still they want like 4-year hope you understood the question, the CBSE versus this JEE part, right? Okay. Yeah. Harit, can you answer?
I think it was a question addressed to for your. Should I?
No problem. No issues. That's
So, yeah, like it was said before, physics, chemistry, and math are usually covered by FITG teachers. It's just a matter of putting your thoughts into words. And if your English part is strong, I think that wouldn't be a huge problem. But for us, I think listening to CS is a really you have to listen in CS class. Otherwise, you can't be doing other J related stuff in CS class. That's a really bad decision, and you can't just learn all of the CS concepts towards the end, towards the board exam, right? So just focus in English and computer science class, and pay attention to what your physics, chemistry, and math teachers tell, how Ramachandran said, they'll tell you how to write it, just so that the marks are full marks are given. So listen to that, and pay attention to CS and math class, CS and English class.
Hello.
Good. So that is how he used to balance. Yes. Yes, sir.
First of all, congratulations to all the toppers and those who have qualified JEE. I have 3 questions. My first question is to Harith. I am a parent of 2 years Pinnacle program.
Sorry, sir?
2 years Pinnacle program.
Yes, sir.
So I think this is complete new for my son because those are studying 4 years or 6 years course. So it is completely new for him. I just want to know how you manage and what extra he needs to do so that, because the success rate what I saw, 4 years, 6 years students are more successful than the 2 year students, what I could saw in the statistics. So what best you can suggest so that my son can take that advice and further progress, and what difficulty you felt compared to the 4 years integrated course? That is my first question.
So, yeah, initially, like I said, it was online. So, there were people, like I was put into a batch which had people who were joining in 11th, but still, I wasn't from Chennai. I had to shift from another place to Chennai. So there were people from Chennai, so they knew what was in JEE already. I was kind of new to what JEE was. So they had some idea of what was being taught in class, while I was, that was totally new to me. So that's the reason I had that initial struggle of the first two phases, and it's totally fine. Like just that's because um, that's because the people who are joining Pinnacle, they're usually completely new to the whole JEE thing. So it might take 3 or 4 months to get acclimatized, like, to get used to the stuff which is being taught here. Actually, for me, the physics, till 10th, I saw physics as a theory subject. So for me, physics was the most difficult thing to cope up with, because when you come to 11th, it's all fully concepts. You have to understand them fully to do any question, like do most questions. So that problem stayed with me till, the half of 12th or something. So it's totally fine. It's totally fine if you feel that way. Just keep putting your work. Like, do whatever you can, do your best, is what I say. Don't compare yourself with others, because they've been studying for 2 years, for the past 2 years. That's what my parents used to tell me. They insisted on this point that you've been studying only for 2 years. They've been studying from fourth. So don't compare yourself with others, is what they usually say, yeah. So just keep doing what you do best, and, all the best. Thank you.
Right.
My second question is, what I feel, I just want some suggestion from the toppers also, that social media distraction and the TV, sometimes the students will be studying and parents will be watching TV and all. So does it matter, or parents should restrict on that, or how do you, or you manage yourself, or do you have any suggestion for the parents to restrict for them?
Yeah. Yes. Rishabh, can you answer this question?
Can you please repeat the last part?
Social media distractions. Any suggestion for parents to restrict themselves?
It is best to avoid accessing social media for purposes other than education. As another person suggested here, it's best to you can use WhatsApp for asking doubts to teachers and for discussing with friends. But otherwise, accessing social media will cause unnecessary distraction, and that can deviate you from your goal. So
Now, I am asking from parents' point of view. What suggestion you have that parents should follow?
Parents should.
My question is, sometimes if you might be studying and your parents would be watching TV or some YouTube, so does it distract yourself, or you restrict yourself from that?
I would restrict myself.
Okay. Like otherwise, no problem. Rishabh, otherwise we'll ask Prahar also to answer.
So for me, I would never stop my parents from watching TV. I would just tell them to reduce the volume so that it doesn't reach my room. If the volume is too high, then it can be distracting for me to study, because like my brother is watching some TV series. The song of the series comes. I recognize that song. So while I'm studying, it becomes a distraction. But if the volume is less, then I think the student should restrict himself, have enough discipline in himself, or should be able to restrict himself enough that if someone else is watching TV in the other room, let him watch. I will focus on my studies. As a parent, I feel what could be done is you could reduce the volume a little. If it is possible that you just remove the TV from it and nobody watches TV in your house, then it's fine, then it's a good thing. But it's not necessary, what I feel. Lowering the volume is necessary, but not removing it totally from your whole family's life.
My third question is, nobody talked about the healthy foods. So how do you, actually, I think most of I'm certainly my son is not a good eater. And normally we don't take healthy foods, we take all junk foods from the outside. how do we suggest whether, because normally this hectic schedule, you'll not have enough time to take healthy food, and I think you'll not have time to take food also. Very less time. Normally, whatever the food we are preparing and giving to our child, it comes back again. So from the school. So how do we suggest how to how to eat healthy foods and what to be taken care of the food activity?
Yeah, Sriyotsa, can you just take this question?
Having healthy, the problem here you said was time, right, sir? Like he doesn't have time to eat the food. That, like you just have to tell him to create time and ensure that he takes care of his body. That is more important. Like I think most of my friends know that I've gone through a lot of problems because of my food habits, and that will actually distract him from whatever studies he's doing. So like stress on the fact that he has to take care of his own body first. Like even though we are like you are his parents, like you can't like sit on his head like all the time and tell him you have salad or you have some fruit or something. He has to realize the importance of eating healthy foods on his own, and because that is going to be only helpful to him. Like he'll be able to like regulate his schedule, and as long as he keeps taking in healthy food, he won't have any distractions from studies. Like he won't get random headaches or stomach aches because of not eating or because of eating junk food. So the thing is more on he has to take the initiative by himself to have healthy food rather than forcing him to eat healthy food. It is better if he realizes it by himself. That is more important.
My last question is to Hari. Uh, actually, my son is very shyness in nature. So, and he is very new to this school in integrated program, and he don't have, he does not have many friends, the old friends. So totally new for him. He is not able to talk to the student, teacher, and open up his doubt and all. How do we suggest how he has to improve, and he has to mingle with the teachers and ask doubt, and to friends also?
Being in a new environment can be difficult, and I've been there a lot of times. So teachers, like when it comes to asking doubts to teachers are usually really helpful. So they don't usually judge for asking doubts or anything. So it's okay to be like a little bit scared to approach them for the first time, but trust me when I say that when you approach them for 2-3 times, you'll get comfortable with them, and it'll get to a point where you ask your doubts freely, and after a point you'll after a point you'll know what doubts to ask and what not to ask. So, and when it comes to friends, because I'm not sure if I can answer that because it was online for me initially. So, yeah, but after offline started, since I knew some of them through WhatsApp chats or something, it was a little bit easier for me to go around the class or something. But yeah, it can be a little bit difficult initially, but you'll get used to the new environment. It's actually great that you're in a new environment, because after 12th anyways you have to go to college, which is an entirely new environment again. So it's sort of like a practice. It's sort of like a trial, I would say. So yeah, that's it.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I wish all the best in your
Thank you.
futures.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. So I think there are two students standing here. We'll take these two questions and we'll wind up the session. And we are coming to the end. Yes.
So hello everyone, I'm Shashwat, and now I've just started my module 1, and it's going on, and I've attempted around 7 to 8 exams from Fiji, but I can see that my efficiency at exam is significantly less than the efficiency at my home. So when I do my test analysis at home, so if I re-attempted the second time after I attempted in the exam, I get the answer less than 1 minute. So if it goes on from various questions in the paper, I sometimes go crossing the highest marks scored in the school. So how to improve my efficiency at the exam?
Okay. Sanjeev, can you answer this question? how to improve the efficiency in exam?
I think all of you are over worried about this fact. Like throughout the course of 2 years, if I'm not wrong, you'll be writing at least 200 examinations. So practice makes perfect. It's actually true. But one thing you could actually work on is trying to do your assignments like exams. So you can simulate the exam situation when you're in a relaxed environment. So when you go to the exam, you will still feel relaxed. So what Prakar was saying, like he couldn't solve the first 4 questions, but still he didn't lose his mind. He's obviously got a very good rank. That means he kept his mind even though he could not do the questions. And also, I would say your point is kind of wrong because when you see the question during the test analysis, you have already read the question in the exam and your mind has subconsciously been thinking about the question. So when you say you solve the same question 1 minute in the test, 1 minute into the test analysis, it's actually not 1 minute. You've actually spent much more of your brain power into it. So just don't worry about it. Try to simulate exam situations when you practice. That's what I did. And I think it should work.
Yeah, all right. Right.
I would like
Yes?
to ask a question. I'm Amrita Shreya from class 12. And I have a doubt, like I know it is very important to have concepts very clear, and I try my best to make the theory part clear and then do many questions. And I have discussed with my faculties about this, but I would like to hear your point of view. My doubt is that whenever I'm done with the concept and I do enough questions from package, archive and other resources, and even tab assignments, I'm unable to match that amount of practice with my marks. And when I don't get the expected results, it makes me think if my concept is actually clear or there are some loopholes which I have to work on.
Right. So, Ramchandran, can you answer this question?
Like even I used to face situations where I don't get some questions. I doubt myself I'm clear in that concept or not, but it's fine to have that doubts within yourself. As time passes, when you do more and more questions in that concept, you will become stronger in that concept. And when you have some doubt, it's better to revise that concept once again. So you will get more clarity in that concept and then start to do sums on that concept again. So when you do more and more sums, you will get more used to that formula or more used to that concept, and eventually you will become stronger in that. And if you want to see some question regarding to that concept, you will solve it in like 1 or 2 minutes. So when you are feeling that you are not clear with the concept, revise it once again and then start doing your problems again.
Yes, thank you. One more doubt. I'm very good in chemistry and I'm moderately good in maths, but physics is a bit of a problem for me. I feel like I am spending too much time on chemistry and math, and even if I spend a lot of time for physics, I used to do lots of questions, but still results don't come. But the thing is, how do I get the same interest that I have in chemistry and maths for physics? Because I feel like the amount of confidence that I have in these 2 subjects, even when I'm writing the test, I don't get it for physics. So.
Yeah. Asta, can you answer this question? Physics. Wherever you go, that is only the problem.
I think Srivat's covered this, but
Yeah.
it's okay to not be equally strong in all 3, but you should have, as long as your basics are covered for all subjects, I think you're good enough.
Okay. Right. So, she says no other, other subjects you make sure that you are strong. But let's see Srivatsa what he says.
Adding on, this is actually a thing which our teacher told us during our sessions. In JEE Advance, what matters is your overall score. That is what decides your rank. It's not your score in a particular subject that's going to decide your rank. It's always your total score that decides your rank. And if you feel that you are really good at chemistry and moderately good at maths, but you're not able to do physics, that's fine as long as you're keeping a really good overall score. And if you feel that you're really good at chemistry, then you have to try to cross 100 in every single paper that you attempt in chemistry for 120. That's what to be really good actually means. So if you set that as your target and you're able to get a very good score overall, then it won't probably hurt as much to be weak in one subject. But it's obviously safer to be fairly good in all three, but in some cases, yes, it can't be helped. Try for physics, again, a lot of people seem to be having this problem. For physics, just keep reading your concept and make sure that even if you don't know how to solve all types of questions which you've seen till now, at least make sure that the very fundamentals, make sure that you have covered your fundamentals extremely well, and that itself is going to help you do better than what you're expecting in physics. Like maybe right now you feel like you're not going to do well in physics, but trust me, like as long as you keep this covered, even if you're not able to perform in your chap tests or top phase exams, in the end you will be able to do better as long as you make sure that your basics are covered.
Okay, thank you.
Good. Yeah.
I'd like to ask a question that what is the difference between your approach towards JEE main exam and JEE advanced exam? Because both the exams are having the same portions, but the questions are totally different when you see JEE mains as well as JEE advanced. So what did you do different so that you can score better in JEE advanced as well as in JEE mains? That's my question.
Right. What is the difference between mains and advanced exam? Okay.
And one preference I like someone to answer whose preference is CPM, where they're strong in chemistry and moderate in physics and maths, because that's where I am right now.
So he wants who is strong in chemistry to answer this question. Yeah, Ramachandran and Harish, you ask. After that, I'll ask Ramachandran. Yeah, please. Harish.
So you want to know what's the difference between mains and advanced, right?
And your approach towards it, like what
approach?
did you do different towards each examination?
So mains, when it comes to chemistry mains, it's if you're clear, if you're thorough with the NCERT, you're basically you're basically done, because mains basically focuses a lot on NCERT. So make sure you go through the NCERT over the course of 5 months, right? So over the course of 5 months, go through it some 2-3 times if you can. What I mean to say is, go through it thoroughly. But when it comes to advance, it's a little bit different. You can't get a good score, is what I say. Like, you will be able to do the easy questions, but for the moderate and the difficult questions, you have to work on it a little bit more. You have to, do the FIGI packages fully. And if you have extra time, if you're interested, you can go for outside reference books like Narendra Avasthi or MS Chauhan or something. So, did I answer your question?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. Yes, Ramachandran, would you like to add something? Yeah. Spandan wants to add? Yes.
Yeah, for mains, maths is generally a bit beyond NCERT. So I would like you to practice more on maths, definitely, because it's definitely not NCERT level only. It's beyond NCERT a bit. And it has started like last 2 years or last year, this had started. So for maths, you have to do more. And I was also a bit weak in maths, but luckily in my mains, maths I found very easy. So I did well in maths in my mains.
Thank you, everyone.
Good.
Can I ask a question?
Yeah, the last question, we'll take it from...
I'm
yeah.
Ritu. I'm from TRP. The question is, have you ever regretted your decision for choosing IIT or FIGI? If you did do it, how did you overcome it?
Right. Have you ever regretted by choosing FIGI or IIT JEE? Yeah, that's a question from her. Yes, Kia?
No. If you do come across a situation where you want to regret it, how do you overcome it?
Like, what's your regret actually?
Like, how do you explain?
Choosing FIGI and IIT JEE as a career always...
Also, like, what's a regret in FIGI? Like,
Because most of the time I feel like I lose interest and I don't want to do it anymore. But I still push myself. So, is there any advice where to overcome this thing?
so you're telling your problem is actually motivation rather than like...
Not exactly motivation, because when you get low marks in your exam, you feel like I don't want it. I don't want to do this, but you still want, but you need to do this. So.
So first of all, it's fine to feel that way, but I had this at points during my preparation, and what I used to think was, I've come this far, might as well, finish it. So that's basically the mindset that I had. Because, you come, you put a lot of effort, you tell that you're pushing yourself. So you put in a lot, like, there must be some end result for all your effort, right? So if you drop out right now, all your effort would have gone down the drain. But if you finish it, you'll get at least something out of it. So yeah, that's the thing that kept me going.
Thank you.
Actually, Srivatsan was mentioning some time back, so he has a friend and who was not doing well in the beginning, and finally he has ended up with coming into the top 10 ranks and all. So that's quite possible. It is, only thing is you have to perceive. Okay? So keep your perseverance, automatically it will happen. Right?
May I add one?
Good afternoon.
Yeah, thank you.
One last question I have. Been waiting here.
Sorry?
I'm here.
Yes, madam.
Gayatri here.
Huh.
So is there a gender diversity that's factored in for the rankings? Because I think I came across in a content from IIT Madras by Professor Kamakodi that they are, considering the diversity candidates as well during the admission. So I may be wrong, but just wanted to get a clarity on that. Thank you.
Sorry, could you repeat?
Can you repeat the question, ma'am?
Yeah, is there a gender diversity factor that's coming in the rankings? As in, there should be 50% of the positions that has to be filled in for, girl candidates.
50% of this?
No, I'm not sure of the percentage, but is there something existing like that?
We don't have any information, ma'am, that we can check it only from...
I think they just add some seats to maintain the gender ratio in IITs. Those are called supernumerary seats. But it depends on the year. Like, if more females have done well, then it wouldn't happen. Just to maintain the gender ratio, they do that.
Yeah,
I think that's what...
That's okay. That is there already. Yes.
No, it's not reservation. It's not. Yeah, sure. Thank
Right.
you.
Okay. Yes, please.
Yeah, actually, my name is Nishant. I study in integrated. My only problem is with the calculations. Yeah, literally, I face many problems with the calculations, such lengthy calculations, that too in physical chemistry, that mole concept, those things, that calculations are literally very tough.
Right. He's finding tough. Yes, Arya?
See, calculations are very important, especially in, I think you have problem in physical chemistry, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, so what I would say is maybe you're not doing it quickly enough, and or maybe you're making a lot of silly mistakes in your in the process of doing maybe simple multiplication or division. That's okay. That happens a lot of time to many people. So what I feel would be good to do is to just practice some, when you're free and you don't have a lot of things to do, you just take up random numbers, big numbers, say 317 or something like that, and then multiply it with some other number 301 or something like that, and that'll probably help in and you can check it with the calculator. That'll help you, and it would be very much helpful if you practice some divisions also, like dividing 317 by 301 again, because these kind of questions appear sometimes on JEE advanced exams, but mostly on the final day, they'll give you numbers which will cancel out very neatly, and you'll get a very neat answer at the end, and you just have to ensure that you don't make simple mistakes like doing something like 32 minus 18 is 12 or something like that. So just don't do such things. So just ensure that you don't make these kind of calculation mistakes and you're good in JEE Advanced.
That's not. Basically, I feel very lazy to do these things. I just use the calculator. That's
no, yeah. So the first thing that you have to do is take your calculator and put it in some locker or something, okay, so that you don't take, or ask your parents to hide it, because I understand that it will be really, after going through, when you, most people would like to do only the intelligent work, thinking of the solution and all that, and not doing this laborious work. But finally, at the end of the day, in your JEE Advanced exam, you are required to do both. So, you have to practice calculations till like this. Like every single question you do, make sure you find out the right answer to that question and make sure it matches with the answer that has been given. Otherwise, you're required to verify as many number of times as required.
Okay, right?
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. So one last question from here. Yes, we'll finish it off.
And many of our batchmates are also here. So if you give us motivation like how to finish off the discussions quickly and concentrate on more questions, it will be helpful for us as well.
Okay.
Sorry, what did you say about not having something you said?
No, package discussion. How we should discuss in the class, doubts in the package.
You're discussing with Pawan sir.
Yeah, Pawan sir, yeah.
So first thing you have to do is complete the entire package. In fact, most of our class, we've gotten scolded on many times for not completing the package before we start discussing. First, complete the package fully. And then during your package discussion, it's mainly there for you to ask sir whatever questions you have like zero idea on how to solve. Mostly package discussions only. If you have even some idea, note it down, keep trying till you get it. Like some questions you just won't know how to approach it at all. Those type of questions only generally you ask in your package discussions. So make sure you complete the package fully. That is actually very important. Like most people don't realize it, they leave it incomplete. But if you do your package and archive thoroughly and you ask those doubts to your teachers, that itself will cover you for like 60% of the questions you're going to see in JEE Advanced. So,
right? Okay. Yes.
We'll implement in our tomorrow's class.
Good. Right. So, nice. With this, we come to the end of all these questions. So, finally, if you see the sum up of this, whatever they said, what is required to crack JEE exams? Consistent effort. That's it. Don't get disappointed one day if you go down because of something reason. Motivated mindset. Yes. Self-motivated or external motivation from parents or something. Keep yourself motivated. Hard work, yes. Many were saying that you have to work. There is no other choice. So perfect. Unable to implement the plans effectively, that should not happen frequently. Once in a while, okay, acceptable, but not very regularly. That's it. Nothing much required. After that, automatically the success will follow you. So that's it from our side. But before we bid goodbye, these students, of course, no words to explain the happiness or otherwise the thanks to them and all. We will be felicitating them in a very grand scale on a grand stage the next Sunday in a very big function called Utkarsh. So, but still, today, very patiently, they were listening to all of us for the last 3 hours and then answering the questions so patiently. So, it's a time to express our thanks with a small token of memento. So, now I request the senior faculties, Mr. Arvind Kant Gupta, Mr. Ravi Teja, and Mr. Shashank Dash to please come onto the stage. We'll hand over some small mementos to them. Yes. Shashank sir, please hand it over to Harshit. One by one. Harshit, Arya. So big round of applause for all these students. Arya. Ramachandran, please come, please come. Prakar. Kian. Shashank sir. Kian. Srivatsa. Nikhil. Spandan. Sanjeev. And Asta. So we'll be meeting once again next Sunday in the real felicitation function where these toppers along with their friends, and of course parents and all, we will be felicitating them for their hard work and achievements, whatever they have done. I want each student who is sitting here, maybe 9th standard, 10th standard, 11th standard, 12th standard, to get inspired and be in touch with them. They can come and help you to any extent. But only one thing you remember, as they were also mentioning, we have to work. No other shortcut for success in IIT JEE. Work we have to do. They can guide you, they can motivate you, and they can tell you the path and everything. So that is what they have learned from their seniors, and today they are here. And it is very much possible for everybody, whoever it is, to come and sit here next year and guide your juniors and achieve good ranks. So thank you so much. Wish you all the best. Thank you all the toppers who are sitting here. And it's so nice of you. You have answered all the questions so patiently and very practically. So I hope with your experience and expertise that you have shared, all your juniors will also shine, and they will also make you proud next year by sitting here more in numbers, okay, and with better ranks. Thank you. Records to be broken. Yes or no? Yes. Right. Thank you so much. We'll meet again next week. Thank you so much. Thank you all. They want to have a group photo. Just they'll have one.